Thanks for watching another episode of Ryder Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.
TSC has streaming television services available in the Gigahood, delivered over our blazing fast fiber internet. Choose TV to fit your family's needs. Enjoy our basic package with all the local channels, or try the extended basic package with sports, news, music, and family entertainment. Download the Your TV Green app and use your Amazon Fire Stick to start watching today. Still need internet? Go to www.telcirco.com and choose the Connect Me button to complete the fiber connection form, and we'll take care of the rest.
Welcome to Ace Cuts Barbershop, a locally owned and family-oriented shop. Our professional team consists of Chase, Scotty, and Jake, and we strive for perfection in every haircut. It's also more than just cutting hair for us. We build great relationships and friendships with everyone that walks through our doors. So come in and see Chase and the crew at 1649 Celina Road, St. Mary's. Let's go Riders!
The St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation is proud to support St. Mary's athletics. We invite you to become a member of the Alumni Foundation by checking out our website at www.mhsaf.com or checking us out on Facebook. Good luck, Riders.
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Celina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spece. Welcome to Spece Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spece Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spece and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spece Chiropractic unique is their three-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spece Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
The importance of quality driver's education for our teens is essential. Capabilities has provided classroom and in-car driving instruction for St. Mary's and surrounding communities for over 20 years. Live classroom and online options are available for our students. Capabilities also administers the Ohio BMV driver's exam for our students and the general public. Contact Capabilities today to learn more about our driver's education services.
Calling all riders. Celina Cycle Center has all of your motorcycle, dirt bike, ATV, and e-bike needs. Need tires, parts, cleaning supplies, and riding apparel? Celina Cycle Center has you covered. If your bike needs tuned up or accessorized, mechanic and owner Aaron Schmidt will have you back on the road or trails. Stop in and see us at 6869 US Route 33 or check out our Facebook page at Celina Cycle Center. Let's ride!
Dr. Compton has been delivering quality chiropractic care for nearly 20 years. He's committed to helping you find relief as quick as possible so there's no lengthy care plans. At Neck and Back Pain Relief Center, most insurances are accepted and walk-ins are always welcome. Conveniently located in downtown St. Mary. To learn more, visit us online at smpainrelief.com and follow us on social media.
It's the name that you want to remember. Neck and Back Pain Relief Center.
Go see Eagle Loan Company in Celina when you need a little extra. Loans made easy, payments made affordable, loans subject to credit approval. Conditions apply.
St. Mary's Eagles 767 is dedicated to promoting the general welfare of the citizens of St. Mary's by giving special attention to public improvements. They are also committed to helping meet the public needs and all that relates to the betterment, convenience, and comforts of the citizens of St. Mary's. For more information on how you can become a member, call 419-394-3257 or stop in during business hours at 404 East Spring Street in St. Mary's. St. Mary's Eagles, 767. People helping people.
In need of a marketing idea for your business or organization? From concept to execution, we are your go-to for promotional products, signage, apparel, print materials, graphic design, and fundraising. Freedom Marketing Strategies is a Roughrider-owned business with over 50 years of marketing, graphic design, and fundraising support. Call Sissy or Gail today to get started.
St. Mary's traditions include football, SMAB, and Fowler's TV. Founded in 1957 by Richard and Peggy, Fowler's TV is celebrated, like a Roughrider first down, for its dedication to high-quality electronics, custom installations of indoor and outdoor TVs, Sonos sound systems, surveillance systems, and so much more. With 12 months of special financing available on approved credit, shopping local has never been better. Fowler's knowledgeable and friendly staff uphold the tradition of exceptional customer care, servicing only what they sell with the same or next day service.
Guarnieri's Pizzeria and Pub has partnered with Ryder Nation Station this season so that every Friday night, Guarnieri's can be Roughrider Central. Guarnieri's will be streaming Roughrider football live every Friday night at 7, paired with your favorite Ryder aid. Call Guarnieri's during or after the game to place your pickup order for pizza, wings, or hoagies at 419-394-2244. Remember, Guarnieri's, home of the signature Big Ralph.
Albert Sporting Goods, outfitting your team since 1980. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. We personalize your gear with embroidery, screen printing, digitizing, and graphic design with on-site services to deliver quality uniforms, spirit wear, and fulfill every equipment need. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com.
JT's provides unique menu selections in a casual atmosphere you're sure to love. Whether you stop by for a meal or catch a game in the bullpen, make yourself at home and enjoy. Food, friends, fun. JT's Brew and Grill. Come dine with us today.
And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to Ryder Nation Station. It's Friday night and that's time for Roughrider football. We're here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, St. Mary's, Ohio. I'm Zach Farrell coming to you tonight for your play-by-play. And joining me, Drew Jacobs. How's it going, Drew?
Well, it's great to be back. I've been listening all year long or at the games, so glad to be back up in the booth and sitting here taking a perfect night of Roughrider football with the weather and homecoming, and can't ask for much better.
Yeah, looking at the varsity lanes time and temperature, it is 6:36 and it is 83 degrees. And I can't believe that on October 3rd it's 83 degrees. Drew, tonight is not only a good matchup between two very good teams in the WBL, two teams that have similar records, but tonight is also homecoming. So I'm class of 2005. What class are you?
2018.
So we spanned some years here between us. Do you remember homecoming and all the pageantry behind that, and how was that?
Oh, What? Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Sorry, you remember homecoming and all the pageantry behind that and
yes.
being on the field?
Absolutely. Obviously as a football player, you're not as involved in it, but my wife did happen to be the homecoming queen, so I think that was passed on to me just prior to the game. So maybe I played extra hard, or I don't know at that point.
Well, that's awesome. And, always a fun night on Friday night for the football game, but also the dance on Saturday. And then I think the coolest part, with all respect to the kids, is seeing the alumni come home for the homecoming, seeing them in the stands with the flowers. It's always just a tradition that I remember going back to when I was 5 years old, sitting at Skip Bachman Stadium. So you can see SMAB crossing the field right now. Drew, we're going to have homecoming festivities in a second, and we're going to transfer that call over to the PA announcer here in the stadium. But before we do that, let's go over the teams that we have here tonight. St. Mary's is 3-3 overall, 3-2 in the WBL. Of course, you heard it right here on Ryder Nation Station last week. They won against Ottawa Glandorf 17-3. The Van Wert Cougars also 3-3 overall. They're 2-3 in the WBL. Last week they lost to Wapakoneta 42-28. Van Wert's led by Coach Keith Recker, 14 years in that role. They're kind of coming to the game with 374 yards averaging on offense. Pretty evenly spread out between rush and pass, pretty balanced. 184 yards rushing, 190 yards passing, and scoring on average 31.7 points per game. Looking at the St. Mary's, of course, head coach Bo Fry, their total offense, 294 yards rushing, 294 yards per game, 256 yards rushing, 38 yards passing, and averaging just 24.8 points per game. I think what really interesting thing here is the Van Wert rush defense is giving up 198.5 yards per game. That's last in the WBL. The St. Mary's offense is rushing 256 yards per average per game, and that's first in the WBL. So we have a great battle tonight between the, always good St. Mary's rushing offense and rushing attack and the Van Wert rushing defense, which is last in the league. Hopefully for the Roughriders, they can take advantage of that, right?
Yeah, I would agree with you there. It is, when you look at them on paper, it is a very similar matchup between the two. Both have a running back that they like to lean on, with the Roughriders being Caleb Schmidt. You'll hear number 11's name for Van Wert quite a bit tonight, Xavier Kelly. He's a 6 foot, 155-pound sophomore. He's averaging 146 yards per game. He kind of does a little bit of everything for them. He's definitely one of those guys that, then the week leading up, that they're focusing where's number 11, whether he's in the backfield, whether he's in split out wide. He can catch the ball. He's in the return game. He's kind of their do-it-all guy. So it'll be interesting to see how the Roughriders go about containing him. They do have quite a few lettermen returning that play on this team. Although they are younger, not a ton of seniors in the skill positions. They do have guys that have had experience in the field. So again, it'll be important for the Roughrider defense to stay on top of those, keep things in front, just allow the offense to chew up the clock in just typical Roughriders fashion.
And it's 7th week of the game, so there's no young kids anymore. They're all getting used to it. If you hear that, we're going to switch over to the PA announcer here for homecoming festivities. We'll have more about these teams when we come back.
We would like to present your 2025 homecoming course. Freshman attendant, Kaylee Klosterman. Kaylee is the daughter of Kenny and Brenda Klosterman. Kaylee participates in cheer, competition dance, student council, art club, and drama club. Kaylee plans to attend college and study biomedical engineering. Kaylee is escorted by Ollie Chisholm, son of Justin and Audrey Chisholm. Ollie is representing Scholastic Bowl. Sophomore attendant, Katarina Young. Katarina is the daughter of Kurt Young and Lisa Marie. Katarina participates in volleyball, band, and symphonic choir. Katarina plans to attend college at Florida State, studying medicine to become a pediatrician.
Katarina is escorted by Riley Benoit, son of Chris and Morgan Benoit. Riley is representing Art Club. Junior attendant Audrey Chorvis. Audrey is the daughter of Andrew Chorvis and Amanda Fricky. Audrey participates in Art Club, Prom Committee, Drama Club, and is the Vice President of Marketing for DECA and a cheerleader for basketball. She is currently employed at Marshall's in Celina. Audrey plans to attend college, studying marketing and management. Audrey is escorted by Corbin Duvernay, son of Joseph and Samantha Duvernay. Corbin is representing Drama Club. Senior attendant Riley Anderson. Riley is the daughter of Tom and Brittany Nouse and Paul and Brooke Anderson. Riley participates in soccer as a captain, is a featured twirler of the Majorettes, and plays clarinet in symphonic band. She is employed at Bigby as a bartista and babysits for the Camden crew. Riley plans to attend college at Rhodes State University, earning her phlebotomy certificate and getting a degree in radiographic imaging. Riley is escorted by Caden Niergarter, son of Brian and Nikki Niergarter. Caden is representing Student Council. Senior attendant Ellie Kraft. Ellie is the daughter of Tony and Jenny Kraft. Ellie participates in National Honor Society, Symphonic Choir, Varsity Voices, dance, is the president of DECA, and a team captain in volleyball. She is currently employed at the Gilded Greenhouse. Ellie plans to attend college at UNOH, studying sports marketing and management, as well as playing volleyball. Ellie is escorted by Lincoln Waterman, son of Doug and Kelly Adams, and Todd Waterman and Jenny Braun. Lincoln is representing DECA. Senior attendant Addison Vandecure. Addison is the daughter of Scott and Heather Vandecure. Addison participates in softball, National Honor Society, Art Club, and DECA as the Vice President of Community Services. She is employed at a community outreach intern at Grand Lake Hospital. Addison plans to attend college at UNOH and major in sports marketing and management. Addison is escorted by Hunter Winget, son of Greg and Tracy Winget. Hunter is representing FFA. Carrying flowers for the Queen is Berkeley Nouse, daughter of Tom and Brittany Nouse. Berkeley is 7 years old. She is in the first grade at St. Mary's East Primary School. Her favorite color is blue. Berkeley's favorite thing to do is dance and sing. When Berkeley grows up, she wants to be a cheerleader. Carrying the crown is Jay Elshoff, son of Stephen and Aaliyah Elshoff. Jay is 6 years old. He is in kindergarten at St. Mary's East Primary School. His favorite color is blue. Jay's favorite thing to do is help Grandpa on the farm. When Jay grows up, he wants to be a pilot. Please welcome back your 2024 Homecoming Queen, Elizabeth Good. Elizabeth is the daughter of Rick and Andrea Good. Elizabeth is currently studying at Purdue Fort Wayne, majoring in both instrumental and vocal education. We are thrilled to have her back. And the 2025 Memorial High School Homecoming Queen is, drumroll please, Riley Anderson. Memorial High School would like to congratulate Riley Anderson in the 2025 Homecoming Court. Thank you to Hudson Jewelers for providing the homecoming crown and Leininger's Trailer Sales for providing the trailer. Congratulations again to the 2025 Homecoming Court. Go Riders!
Well, congratulations to Riley Anderson, homecoming queen. Congratulations to all of the court and their escorts. Always a great time before the game. Drew, before we cut away for the PA announcer, we were talking a little bit about these two teams, and you were talking a little bit about the rushers, but looking at the defensive side of things, St. Mary's really has their it's going to have a tough night, I think. Has things cut out for them to try to stop Van Wert. Of course, it helps that they have Taylor Compton, who's second in the WBL right now with 75 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. We just see him bounce off the screen at us every week, all over the field, making plays. What have you seen from this Van Wert offense, and what does St. Mary's defense need to do to stop it?
We're starting with their offense. They do have a quarterback that you kind of look at him and question if he shouldn't be playing defensive end somewhere on a Division I college team. He's 6'5", 6'6", very big body. I believe he's fourth in the league in passing. He really is able to spread it out to his receivers. Micah Cohen is the leading receiver on the year, and then of course we already touched on Xavier Kelly being kind of the all-purpose guy that they like to utilize. It has been noted that he will tuck it and get some tough yards being as big as he is. So, again, that poses a lot of issues for the St. Mary's defense to kind of counteract. But, flipping over to the St. Mary's defense side of the ball, you kind of touched on Taylor Compton. And I think it's left unsaid that some of the plays that he makes they look pretty easy. But if you really watch him on the replays and kind of how he's contorting his body and, backdooring plays that most guys wouldn't be able to run down just based off of his pure speed, that's a big help for the St. Mary's defense. And along with that, the secondary is starting to get some experience. A lot of new faces back there to start the year, but again, we talked about being in Game 7 here, seeing a lot of productive passing offenses, defensive line starting to come into their own. You like the Jackson Rammel. Is a guy with a high motor. He's everywhere on the field. Owen Ott's been playing since he was a freshman. Those are all guys that bring experience and are, key parts of this defense that are going to have to make plays tonight against this explosive Van Wert offense.
Yeah, the Van Wert offense is basically the Zach Crummy, Xavier Kelly, and Micah Cohen show. Those are, the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver, and they touch the ball, it feels like, watching on film, like 90% of the time. The quarterback, Zach Crummy, as you were saying, 6'6", 245 pounds. I believe his father did play defensive end for Michigan State, and it's incredible how he can get. If you've got a third and 1, third and 2, he's a big body to try to stop to get those 2 yards. He comes out of the shotgun formation a lot of times, and so he's plowing through the line. That's what I noticed. And, oh, by the way, they've got Xavier Kelly, who's got 876 yards so far this year, averaging 8.3 yards per carry and 12 touchdowns in the WBL. So you can't just key on the quarterback. You're going to get eaten alive by Xavier Kelly. And then, Micah Cohen has 37 catches for 379 yards. So definitely a threat there on offensively at the wide receiver position. So defense for St. Mary's has got to step up and make some big plays tonight. The good news is I think that St. Mary's defense has been a little bit better against the run, and we're not going to see, while Van Wert can pass, and I'm sure they will tonight, they don't seem to have quite the passing attack that has hurt St. Mary's in earlier games this season, right?
Right. You always try to make teams one-dimensional if you can. If you can erase one side of one thing that they're trying to do, it makes it really hard from a game planning perspective and kind of what they practiced all week to be able to go forward with what they want to try to do to our defense. So that's going to be a big part of what they're doing. If you can take away that run game or you can kind of limit the passing game one side or the other, it'll hopefully drive the St. Mary's defense to be able to perform with, the same thing. We kind of talked about those guys. I don't know that St. Mary's has any guys that are 6'6", 245 to meet Crummy in the hole, but again, it takes a lot to get him going downhill and going forward. So having some pressure, getting those defensive line guys active, and just able to kind of be in his face and make things not easy as he's kind of going about his business back there in the pocket and rolling out.
Well, we have seen that defensive line step up. You talked a little bit about Jackson Ramel and Owen Ott, but Matt Murray and Cole Mullins have been huge for the defensive line as well. Especially Cole Mullins, because early in the season we saw a lot of 3-down linemen, and so Cole wasn't getting into the game. Last couple of weeks, we've been running a 4-down lineman, and Cole's been in there, and it's really made a difference. Especially, I guess, a few weeks back against Celina, he started to make some plays, and then we saw him last couple of weeks. So it's neat to see that those guys are continuing to get better and progress as the season goes. It seems like new people are finding their roles and finding their positions on that defensive side. But it looks like on the field they're going to get ready to play the national anthem, and the teams are going to be coming out here. We are 8 minutes from kickoff. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the Varsity Lanes kickoff live from Grand Lake Health Systems Field, St. Mary's, Ohio. We'll be back with more right after this.
Miller Funeral Home has been serving the Roughrider community in its time of need since the 70s. Our business is a family affair, dedicated to serving families with integrity, dignity, and compassion. Miller Funeral Home, proud to be a supporter of the Roughrider community. Plus One Professionals Real Estate. We're dedicated to making your move smooth and stress-free with our Plus One perks and free use of our moving truck. Plus One Realty, where our agents always go the extra step. Plus One.
Hold your horses, literally. Here comes Rocky, trotting in with some big news.
Yeehaw, Rider Nation. The Rider Rooters give back to every Rough Rider sports program.
That's right. Rider Rooters help supply gear, scoreboards, and the extras our athletes need to succeed. So saddle up and purchase your Rider Rooter membership, because here at St. Mary's, Riders ride together.
Thank you for your support. Go Riders!
Touchdown! Santa doesn't need a tush push. That reminds me. I challenge you to read The Christmas Couch on your couch this Christmas. It's all about surviving Christmas Eve in 1969.
Join us for our second annual St. Mary's Celebrates Education, Writing, and the Power of Stories, with featured local author Joe Ginter and panelists Rhonda Shelby, Tracy Louth, and Len Persinger. This is a free event to attend. Secure your books by going to the theater website.
Are you looking for a fun place to grab a bite to eat and a few drinks? Then stop by Roots Pub on Spring Street in downtown St. Mary's. The kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The food menu still has all the classic favorites, but now also has some tasty new options. Roots Pub always has a game on and has live entertainment every weekend from some of the best bands around. Check out our Facebook page for a full entertainment schedule and daily food specials. Roots Pub, your go-to place for great food, cold drinks, and a fun atmosphere.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
I'm Larry Gruber, longtime educator and St. Mary's wrestling coach.
If you're in need for any electrical upgrades, whether big or small, for your business or home, reach out to Sean Barnett Electrical at 567-259-8343.
Trying to do electrical work on your own can be shocking and painful.
Wow! Hi, I'm Sean Barnett with Sean Barnett Electrical for your home or your business, and I do support this pinch.
Are you in the need of storage space? At Spring Street Storage, we have several units to help organize your life. From 10 by 10 to 10 by 30, we have units to keep your valuables dry and clean. We offer monthly rentals and long-term discounts. Give us a call at 567-279-1536 for all your storage needs.
Hey there, Rough Rider Country. If you need a van, truck, car, SUV, motorcycle, camper, boat, or any other form of transportation, come on down to Shaft Auto Sales. I know you got vehicle needs, and I got needs too. I need to know that you got the right kind of truck to get the job done. And I need to know that you got a fun set of wheels to cruise around in. And I need to know that your kids are safe. when you take them for a ride.
Thanks, Aaron High, the car guy.
I'm Aaron High, the car guy with Schaff Auto Sales. I sell cars to Rough Rider fans because that's what I am and that's who I care about.
TSC is bringing fiber optic high-speed internet to your rural community. Power your household with upload and download speeds as high as 1 gigabit. GigaSpire technology provides blazing fast speeds and whole home coverage so you can enjoy an unrivaled online experience. At TSC, we look forward to bringing you hometown local service, saving you money, and welcoming you to the TSC Gigahood.
Hi, I'm Jay Gibson, proud owner of Varsity Lanes since 2003. Visit Varsity Lanes for exceptional fun and mouth-watering food. Opt for our classic ham and cheese or choose from various other delectable options. Every Friday night, join Rough Rider fans in the lounge for food, drinks, and St. Mary's football. Can't make it? Takeout and delivery services available. Varsity Lanes is your go-to spot for daily lunch specials and dinner options. Whether you dine in, take out, or opt for delivery, Varsity Lanes, locally owned and operated, and the home.
Family, let's get on your feet and let's hear it for our St. Mary's Memorial Rough Rider! Well, welcome back to Grand Lake Health Field. Zach Farrell, Drew Jacobs. We're here ready for the Riders to take on the Van Wert Cougars tonight. You can see the teams coming out onto the field. St. Mary's all-brass marching band just playing the fight song. It's getting exciting, Drew. 83 degrees tonight right now on the field. Forecast is looking wonderful. No clouds in the sky. No rain in the forecast. Thank you to Varsity Lanes for sponsoring our game time and temp. The Riders did win the coin flip, and they have chosen to receive. So the Rough Rider kick return team will be on the field. Of course, with the homecoming festivities tonight, the schedule is a little condensed. So there is 45 seconds marching off the clock, and the band is getting off the field a little bit later than they normally would. Speaking of which, congratulations to Riley Anderson winning the homecoming queen tonight. Congratulations, Riley, as well as the rest of the court for that honor of being on the field before the game and winning homecoming queen. Congratulations to Riley and her family. Drew, the Rough Rider kick return team has been outstanding all year when they've gotten it kicked to them. We saw last week that OG refused to kick it deep, tried to kick it short. Any thoughts that you have on that team?
I would anticipate that's something you're going to see kind of going forward for the rest of the year. You definitely don't, you've seen the Rough Riders be explosive and have big runs, and with Dylan Fink even taking one back earlier in the season. So they're both have quite a high average on these kick returns. So I would fully expect that Van Wert had in their scouting report that we're going to try to keep it away from both of them. I could be completely wrong, but
yeah. Van Wert does not have Brady Triple on their side either, where they can kick it through the end zone.
No, that is quite the weapon to be able to have. It's something to rely on. And as you see him, he's kind of got more comfortable as the years going on, and he's buried a couple of those deep field goals, the free kick, something that the Rough Riders definitely have in their arsenal that a lot of high school teams do not have the opportunity to have. So.
Well, this kick is brought to you by Varsity Lanes. Trey Moore, Dylan Fink back for the Rough Riders. How about this for a name of a football player? The Van Wert kicker is Griff McCracken. 5'11 senior, number 23. Van Wert started with a little bunch. They come back out to a regular-looking kickoff, and they do kick it short. And that's number 1. That is John Youngs. Thank you.
Yep.
John Youngs takes that kickoff from about the 25-yard line, runs it up the sideline. Not a ton of speed, but he gets some good field position for the Riders. They're going to have it 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line.
I don't think you can expect anything different than you've seen most of the year. A steady dose of Caleb Schmidt to get it rolling and kind of get the Van Wert defense evaluated, see where they're looking to attack at, because everybody kind of wants to go with the wing P differently, and from that the Rough Riders can adjust and
St. Mary's comes into the game 3-2 in the WBL, 3-3 overall. Van Wert coming into the game 2-3 in the WBL, 3-3 overall. So this is a sort of a rubber match for these teams. One of them is going to go above 500 on the year overall for their records. And, of course, right now everybody's worried about those 12 playoff spots.
Absolutely. I think a big deciding factor you may see this game come down to is a turnover battle.
Caleb Schmidt off the bat with a little fullback dive right there. Off the handoff from Meinerding, gets a couple yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Roughriders.
Yeah, just to speak to that turnover battle a little bit further, Van Wert's forced a few more turnovers in the Roughriders, but have also been a little more turnover prone. They're both +2 on the year, so like I said, something's got to give, or as like you had said. So
Meinerding with the ball, hands it off to Dylan Fink, sweep around the outside. He's got nowhere, and unfortunately he loses his footing trying to make something out of nothing, and he's going to be taken down for a loss. That's going to bring up a long 3rd and 12. Yeah, as you were saying, I noticed that jumped out at me before the game that Zach Crummy has 7 passing touchdowns but 6 interceptions.
Correct.
It's never good when your quarterback has nearly as many interceptions as TDs.
That's not how the stats intended to look. You saw in that last run, Roughriders do have a tendency to go to the boundary to kind of use numbers, but that one Van Wert kind of stayed home and they weren't able to get outside of it.
Meinerding under center, 3rd and 12 for the Riders here early in the first quarter. Meinerding looking to pass, steps up, throws it down the field. That Grady Hughes, number 9, makes the catch. He is right at the first down marker. I think he's going to be just short.
Now it looks like they're waving him on.
Oh, they're waving him on. Good.
It's a nice ball there by Aiden Meinerding, keeping him low. You never want to leave your receiver out to dry. Grady made a heck of an effort to get underneath that ball, make sure it stayed off the turf, and Roughriders moved sticks on the first drive of the game to keep it rolling, build off that momentum.
How about a Fowler's TV first down through the air for the Roughriders and Aiden Meinerding. Let's see them build on this momentum maybe. Meinerding trap up the middle. Caleb Schmidt met at the line and taken down right away.
Again, we kind of talked about this. This is usual procedure for the Roughriders. It's the play calling, kind of feeling out what Van Wert's stunning up front, where their linebackers are in terms of depths, and it's all just part of the wing tee with the first drive. So
I know as a former Garden Center, you had to run a few traps just to try to understand exactly where those guys are going to be and how I could try to get them out of that hole. Sweep this time, Luke Rammel lowers the boom on that defender there coming through the hole. I don't like that spot that they gave him.
It does seem a little short, but I think that was stressed in practice this week, and just kind of emphasized on the Bo Fry show that finishing forward, that was one of the goals by the running backs, and you see that there by Luke. He gets his pads below him and delivers the blow instead of taking it from the defender.
Great view there on the Larry Schaff auto replay. Brings up a huge 3rd down here for the Riders, 3rd and 3. Handoff to Dylan Fink. He's got a lot of space. Makes a move, runs through a tackle, and gets all the way down to the 36-yard line of Van Wert.
I'll have ourselves another Fowler's TV first down.
Absolutely. I don't like that spot again, but
you see that they were in the full house there. I believe that was basically just kind of a short side sweep. They kept it inside. We saw in that first sweep they had attempted. Van Wert really set the edge and kept it in, so now the Roughriders have adapted.
Meinerding under center, full house again. Long count. Looks like left side of the line jump there for the Roughriders. That's going to be our first penalty of the night.
Roots Pub penalty flag on the play.
Sometimes we
dead ball, false start, number 52 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Sometimes I've noticed if St. Mary's is quick enough at the snap, then we can get away with that sometimes, but that was just a little too quick there.
Yeah, sometimes you'll have that just with with Aiden Meinerding underneath center barking out the calls. They're definitely kind of a check with me play out of the full house look. So
Cooper Glass just a little early on that one. 1st and 15 for the Riders. Quick handoff I think that was a counter play by Luke Rammel, and he got met right at the line. 31 for Van Wert, Briggs Wallace.
That was a nice play there. He kind of shot through on the backside. A lot of times you try to seal on the backside, but it looks like he had stepped through and was able to beat that through the front side on the face.
Riders finding themselves in a huge hole here, 2nd and 16. Meinerding surveys the field under center. Hands off to Caleb Schmidt. Caleb kind of had that momentum just falling forward. I don't think really anybody touched him too bad, but he just couldn't keep his feet underneath him and falls forward gets 4 or 5 yards on that. Brings up 3rd and 11 now for the Riders. Probably in 4th down territory though.
Yeah, you would think, you've already put together nearly a 5-minute drive to get this game going. Maybe not looking to get it all back here. I don't know that they would necessarily go to the air. If you can get another 5 or 6, it kind of opens up the playbook a little more.
You also get 4 or 5, and you may be in Brady triplet territory for a field goal.
I think we're going to see a Roots Pub penalty flag there. Looks like a face mask for Dylan Fink. That should be an automatic 1st down for the Roughriders. Don't even have to worry about 4th down, Zach.
That's a huge
Dylan Fink, the ball carrier, is a flag
call
on the
there.
play.
We're going to break here for the official.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 16 of the defense. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
Well, a huge Roots Pub penalty there for the Riders against Van Wert. Personal foul, face mask, and that gives the Riders a Fowler's TV 1st down. They are knocking on the Dr. Mike Compton Neck and Back Pain Relief Center red zone. Full house backfield again for Aiden Meinerding. 1st and 10 for the Riders on the 21-yard line. Meinerding another long count. Looks like Caleb Schmidt off the left side there. Thought the left side of the line maybe got a little early again, right?
I thought we might have been a little quick on that snap as well. Did not get the call, but we'll take it as Rough Rider fans. Schmidt makes a nice run. First guy meets him in the hole about 4 yards depth, and he stretches it and takes it for another 2 after. So again, the emphasis of falling forward and picking up those extra yards that are so crucial.
2nd and 3 for the Riders. Caleb Schmidt again. He comes through. He's rumbling, bumbling. Breaks a few tackles. He's inside the 5-yard line. And the Riders are knocking on the end zone, looking to get their first score of the night. They have taken this drive down the field, helped out by penalties, helped out by a long pass play, and helped out by a lot of good hard running from these Riders so far.
Yeah, the benefit of that full house backfield is you kind of have the playbook at the mercy of what you want to do. So depending how Van Wert lines up, you can see where they want to go with it. So we're going to get a straight dive there.
Schmidt, a little straight dive, right up the middle. He's close to a touchdown. They're going to say he's just a little short.
I think that was probably the correct call, but we'll see here on the replay. Just a smidge.
Good call from the officials. 2nd and goal from that 1-yard line.
Van Wert's not an overly penalized team. They're one of the better in the league, so that 15-yard penalty is not something they're used to dealing with. But again, in the benefit of the Rough Riders to keep the drive going now inside the 1-yard line.
Meinerding in QB sneak formation there. He gets turned around. I'm not sure he got in.
I think they might have had another missed face mask there. As I just said, they weren't much of a penalized team. I think that's probably what kept Aiden Meinerding out of the end zone. If you watch here on the replay, it's like somebody possibly had him by the head.
Oh yeah, you can see right there. We'll take a look at that this week on Rules of the Game with Bill Krug. Ask him about that one, but that looks like a missed call. You're right. Well, that brings up 3rd and goal, and it's starting to get a little scary here. The Riders need to put this one in the end zone. Schmidt walks into the end zone untouched, nobody around. That's a Cycle Center, Celina Cycle Center touchdown for the Rough Riders.
Yeah, we had talked about the offensive line, the left side being a little giddy to get off the ball, and that one, definitely they were off on time, but were able to take the right side of the Van Wert defensive line and just escort Caleb Schmidt right back into the end zone.
Brady Triplett in for the Eagle Loan Company extra point here. Bad snap, but the hold gets down. Did Triplett get it through? He did. Nice job from the holder and Triplett of getting that through.
Luke Randall getting that ball upright just so he could get a foot to it and continue to have 7 points.
That's 16 for 16 Brady Triplett now on points after touchdown. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the Varsity Lanes kickoff right after this.
Hi, I'm Jay Gibson, proud owner of Varsity Lanes since 2003. Visit Varsity Lanes for exceptional fun and mouth-watering food. Opt for our classic ham and cheese or choose from various other delectable options. Every Friday night, join Roughrider fans in the lounge for food, drinks, and St. Mary's football. Can't make it? Takeout and delivery services available. Varsity Lanes is your go-to spot for daily lunch specials and dinner options. Whether you dine in, take out, or opt for delivery, Varsity Lanes, locally owned and operated, and the home of state bowling champions, and where amazing dining meets fun. Tempted? Visit or call us now. Have you made the call yet?
We did. Welcome back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field, St. Mary's, Ohio. Zach Farrell and Drew Jacobs here, where the Riders have just scored, and they put it up early, 7-0 over the Van Wert Cougars. 4 minutes and 24 seconds left here in the first quarter, and it's always good to be on the plus side on that Sean Burnett electrical scoreboard, Drew.
Exactly how you draw it up, a 7.5 minute drive to get the game going, kind of deflate the ball a little bit, and let the defense go out and do their job.
Triplett, of course, puts it in the end zone. That was questionable for a second. I thought, it had a lot of height on it.
Yeah.
That was that's a whole new kick for him. It wasn't his line drive as he normally does. That was pretty.
He's able to try something different instead of just kicking it on the end line out the back of the end zone.
I wonder if they've thought about working with him to try to put it on the half-yard line or the 1 yard line, or if they're just content with him booting it through every time.
I think in high school football, with them kind of having a lag of where that ball's coming out, you see it in college and the pros where you bring it out a little further. If they can kick it into the end zone, I think you're more than content with the offense having to drive 80 yards every time.
Van Wert's out in the shotgun. Crummy with the snap, hands it off to their everything running back, Xavier Kelly.
Just kind of looking at the Van Wert scouting report, they go out of the empty backfield or the trip set 50% of the plays that they run. So you'll see here they're setting up an empty with kind of a sniffer back there as an extra blocker, but just a way to get guys with the ball in their hands.
Crummy looking to pass it on second, throws it up out of bounds, really just trying to get rid of that. Pretty smart play from that sophomore quarterback, but nowhere really to go with the ball, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Cougars already. Looked like watching the replay there, maybe they were trying to get something out, like a little screen pass to Kelly.
Yeah, you could see kind of a bubble screen developing there. The Roughriders, obviously, like we have talked about all week, it's not something that they're wanting to do is get Xavier Kelly with the ball in his hands in space. They want to prevent that as much as possible.
Crummy finds a receiver. I think that's number 10, Micah Cowan. He's their number 1 receiver, but fortunately for the Roughriders, they're going to call him short. It's a big decision now for Keith Recker and the Van Wert team.
It'll be interesting this early. I believe Van Wert does have a pooch punt that they can drop Crummy back and kick it out of that.
That was a big money down for the Riders there on 3rd down. They're trying to stop him here on 4th. Crummy's hit at the line, but we talked about that in the pregame. 6'6", 245-pound sophomore is hard to stop when he only needs a yard.
It's a tough task for anybody at this level of football. The Roughriders was there to make the play, but he was able to just kind of lean through it and pick up that 1st down.
You wonder if Crummy is sort of in that role just because he's kind of the best athlete and he's huge. Can certainly throw the ball, though, as we saw right there. Micah Cowan with a quick hit from Crummy. Runs down the hash mark. He's going to be taken down around the 50-yard line. They'll mark him a little short of the 50, so 49-yard line. But that's a 1st down for Van Wert.
Yep, you see that just a little stop route. Like we said, just got to keep it in front, make tackles. You don't want to give up a big one.
Quick pass out to Xavier Kelly. he runs down the line after breaking a tackle. Just a missed tackle there from the Roughriders. We've seen that too much this season, unfortunately. And Xavier Kelly is a guy that you cannot allow to get out and get wild, right?
Nope. You do see Taylor Compton running the tackle down. Cougars looking to go a little up-tempo here, keep the Rough Rider defense at bay.
Kelly again. This time they hand it off to him, runs to the outside and falls down on his own. Yeah, Van Wert not running any huddle. Coming right up to the line, getting the play from the sidelines, keeping the ball moving here.
This is something that they've done for quite some time, especially with some of the athletes that they have. Basically what it does is it forces your defensive line to not have enough time to sub in and out. So, they wear down, makes your offensive line a little easier to pass block.
Crummy hands it off to Kelly again. This time they try that same play to the other side.
That was actually handed off to Micah Cowan.
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that a ton, just by stat book watching, but was a nice fill by John Young. He's there kind of running the alley and making a nice sure tackle.
Little end around there from the wide receiver. Crummy empty backfield again. Rolling out to his right, looking long, looking for a touchdown. Hits his receiver just short of the touchdown, but he's going to take it in. That's Keaton Welch, 6-foot junior for Van Wert. Easy touchdown there for him.
Yeah, it was a nice play. They caught the Rough Riders blitzing from the backside, so his rollout was rolling away, buying him a little bit more time. You see Trey Moore try to go up, make the play there from behind the receiver, but he was able to go up in front of it. And, after you kind of jump and take yourself out of position, it's not a whole lot of resistance to walk into the end zone.
Griff McCracken onto the field for the extra point. That's up, and that's good. So as we talked about, these two teams very evenly matched so far. Both teams able to march down the field on offense and score. On the Sean Burnett Electrical scoreboard at 7-7. We'll be back right after this.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's, proud to support Rough Rider athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Rough Riders football game, streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, drinks, sports. Go see Eagle Loan Company in Celina when you need a little extra. Loans made easy, payments made affordable, loans subject to credit approval. Conditions apply.
Grand Lake Health Systems Field, St. Mary's, Ohio. Zach Farrell, Drew Jacobs on the call tonight. Van Wert Cougars able to answer the St. Mary's Rough Riders on their offensive drive, take the ball down 7-7 on the Sean Burnett Electrical scoreboard. This kickoff is brought to you by our friends at Varsity Lanes, home of the state bowling champions. McCracken starts with their bunch formation here. Traditional Van Wert bunch kick formation.
Yep, and as we talked, that last kickoff to start the game, they kept it away from our deep returners, basically forcing a short return, allowing them to get down in coverage and be able to keep everything from popping out the backside and going for a long run.
Teams back up into their regular formations. McCracken comes, and it's another short one. This one to 15 for St. Mary's.
Looks like that ball was called just across the 25, returned over across the 30. It's going to be very similar starting field position for the Rough Riders.
Hunter Coldiron, the sophomore running back, on that return. So I think they've got some of the other running backs for the team back there to be able to catch these short kicks and do something with them. Good field position again for the Rough Riders on the 31-yard line. Say it again, I think that spot was a little short. Minerding out, full house formation again, under center. Turns, hands the ball off to Caleb Schmidt. Caleb Schmidt makes a nice move in the hole, pulls down the defender with him a couple yards, taken down just short of the first down marker. It's going to be 2nd and 2 for the Riders. No sign that Van Wert has figured out how to stop the rushing offense.
No, that full house has a couple different things that it affects. When you're in the full house, you'll see a lot of teams shift to the tight end and wing back, which is a lot of times the strong side where the Rough Riders are looking to run the ball. So it really just keeps them at bay. And again, you see the tight end was on the right side there. And
here we go. Caleb Schmidt up the middle, breaks tackles. He's coming to the 20, to the 10. He's going to score. Caleb Schmidt all the way from the 39-yard line. It's a 61-yard touchdown run for Caleb Schmidt. It's a Celina Cycle Center touchdown.
Yeah, you see a simple 5 fullback there. You know, the same exact play, I believe, that was just run. Schmidt did a very good job of keeping his eyes up, kind of cutting back across the grain. Defenders are obviously flooding down, over pursuing. One cutback, a broken tackle later, and he shows off his speed as he walks into the end zone for another Rough Rider score.
And Brady Triplett is good on the Eagle Loan Company extra point. That time the snap was good, the hold was good, and the kick was good. On the Sean Burnett electrical scoreboard, just like that, the Riders score. It's not even the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Rough Riders 14, Van Wert Cougars 7. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the Varsity Lanes kickoff right after this.
TSC has streaming television services available in the Gigahood, delivered over our blazing fast fiber internet. Choose TV to fit your family's needs. Enjoy our basic package with all the local channels, or try the extended basic package with sports, news, music, and family entertainment. Download the Your TV Green app and use your Amazon Fire Stick to start watching today. Still need internet? Go to www.telcirco.com and choose the Connect Me button to complete the fiber connection form, and we'll take care of the rest.
14-7 already here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Zach Farrell, Drew Jacobs, bringing you all of the action tonight for the Rough Riders on Rider Nation Station. Drew, what do you think? We got a shootout on our hands or what?
We may have a shootout. You know, we had talked about the slow, methodical drive that Rough Riders had put together that first one. Van Wert turns around, scores quickly. The Rough Riders kind of answer with a, hey, what you can do, I can do better. And here we are, Rough Riders kicking the ball back. We'll let Van Wert's offense take the field again.
Brady Triplett looks to put it in the end zone again and just barely does.
It's kind of funny sitting up here in the media center. You can kind of hear the gasp when the ball looks almost like it's going to be short. Everybody's just grown to expect that ball is going to be soaring into the end zone.
It's unbelievable to just be able to rely on a high school kicker to put it in the end zone every time like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Not to look at too many other scoreboards or anything, but someone just showed me that the Shawnee Indians and Wapakoneta Redskins are tied 7-7 right now in the first quarter. So
both 5-0 in the league, so
yeah, huge matchup.
Very large implications for going forward.
Crummy gets the ball, fakes a pass, and gets met in the backfield. That's going to be a Spring Street Storage sack. Who got him on that one?
79. Is that Matt Murray?
That's Matt Murray.
You know, you see him pop up, do his little big man dance. You love to see those guys getting a little excited. That's the kind of momentum that you need. We talked about the turnover battle, but essentially a punt is a turnover for this Van Wert team if they're not going to be able to stop the Rough Riders on offense. So that's a big to reset their downs and kind of put them 6 yards behind what they're looking to be.
It's tough to get replays with this Van Wert offense, no huddle and everything. A little bit of a jump there from Murray, unfortunately. He got too excited on that first one. He gives those 5 yards right back to Van Wert, so they're going to have a 2nd and 5 on that encroachment call. It's a Roots Pub penalty. So far, Riders definitely had an advantage there in penalty-wise against Van Wert. They need to make sure they keep it that way.
Yeah, just a slight flinch there. Again, we talked about he was excited on the play that he had just made. Obviously, Van Wert realized that and was intentionally trying to draw him, so he's got to refocus and take it into the second quarter.
Van Wert's going to let that take it to the quarter. So that's the end of the first quarter on the Sean Burnett Electrical scoreboard. The Rough Riders 14, Van Wert 7. We'll be back with more right after this.
Welcome to Ace Cuts Barbershop, a locally owned and family-oriented shop. Our professional team consists of Chase, Scotty, and Jake, and we strive for perfection in every haircut. It's also more than just cutting hair for us. We build great relationships and friendships with everyone that walks through our doors. So come in and see Chase and the crew at 1649 Celina Road, St. Mary's. Let's go Riders!
The St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation is proud to support St. Mary's Athletics. We invite you to become a member of the Alumni Foundation by checking out our website at www.mhsaf.com or checking us out on Facebook. Good luck, Riders.
We're back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Zach Farrell, Drew Jacobs. Second quarter starting here. Riders up 14-7 over Van Wert. Crummy right off the bat trying to pass out here. He's got a receiver. He's got him open. Catch is made and immediately driven out of bounds, but he's going to have a first down on the 34-yard line.
You know, you hate to give up 12 yards there, but, you know, the goal is always prevent. Oh, Wolf.
At the quarter there, see girls golf was honored. Congratulations. Girls golf was WBL champions. That's why they were honored there. It's in between the quarters. Congratulations to them. Kelly with the handoff and met right at the line. So far, Ryder's doing a pretty good job of stopping him tonight, bottling him up.
Again, we talked about making him one-dimensional. You know, if you can eliminate that from the game, then it makes it a little bit easier. And as I was kind of saying, you know, you hate to give up those 12-yard pass plays, but again, that's the importance of what Dylan Fink did there, is just making sure that's tackled in front. Live to see another down. You know, there's not a lot of high school teams, especially with sophomore starting quarterbacks, that can march you down 5-10 plays at a time.
Crummy stands in the pocket. He's throwing deep. Unfortunately, Childs is going to get called with a holding there or pass interference. Definitely had a hold of that receiver's backside. Unfortunately, I don't know if he would have been able to make that catch. The pass was pretty deep.
Yeah, the ball had a lot of air on it. Give him a chance.
For number 10, Micah Cowan. There was a flag on the play. Pass interference. Defense, number 22. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Ball had a lot of air there. Gave him a chance to kind of run underneath it. It's tough to make that business decision as a DB, but as a former DB, I know that we used to preach 15 is better than 6. So, you know, I'm sure it was coached that way, that, hey, you might have a step and a half on me. Let's just live to see another one.
Crummy hands the ball off to Kelly. Kelly makes a move, but tackled really well by John Youngs.
We've seen him flash a couple times. He made a nice alley run, sticking Cohen on a handoff, and there, same thing. Willing to put his nose in. Younger guy on this defense, but is more than willing to get in there and make tackles and force the issue.
Just a sophomore. It's hard to believe because we've called his name so much this year. John Youngs, 6'4", 175-pound sophomore. Crummy hands the ball off again. I think that got a little run-pass option type of play.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you probably see at the top of the screen there, they got a couple guys running stop routes. Crummy likely could have pulled that, but again, it's tough to make that read on the fly, especially as a sophomore in the high school quarterback game. So, it was a nice play by Jackson Ramble, and you see also John Young's kind of there to help clean things up.
Well, that's going to bring up a 3rd and 13 and a money down, but it looks like the teams are running off like there was a timeout called, but now they're coming back on. Not sure what's going on here.
Looks like there's some explanations going on.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like maybe an equipment. So Caleb Schmidt coming in on defense.
Yeah, I believe he's replacing Taylor Compton.
Okay.
It looked like he had something going on with his helmet, so.
That's a big replacement there on 3rd and 13.
Yeah, obviously you hate this on a money down, an ace cuts money down to have your best defender, one of your best defenders off the field. But Caleb Smith showed to be able to run well and make plays, so have a little leeway here at 3rd and 13, hopefully get off the field.
Van Wert comes out, empty formation, blitz coming on the left side. They're not able to get to him. Crummy steps up and makes a pass right over the middle. That receiver's wide open. He's tripped up and falls down around the 7 or 8 yard line. That's just one of those where you send the blitz, and if you don't get to him in time, there's going to be somebody open down the field.
Right, you know, you bring 5 there, taking somebody out of coverage, which is fine. You know, you want to force the issue, but if you don't get home, there's an awful lot of time and some free throwing lanes to deliver a ball like that down the field.
Grady Hughes on coverage, but it's tough when you got that much time. He's able to get past you and get down the field there. Quick run to Kelly off the edge, and he's met at is that Taylor Compton? Yep, Taylor Compton.
Fresh off the sideline with a new helmet.
Looks like Kelly was maybe injured for a little bit, but he gets up okay.
I think you're seeing a little frustration out of him. It's something he's not used to. He's got a 13-yard run that accounts for every yard that he has in this game besides one, and he's got 6 other rushes. So, again, just keep coming at him, and that frustration will continue to grow. He's not able to hopefully bust any of those big plays.
Second and goal from the 10-yard line. Van Wert trying to get in here and even up the score. Ryder's trying to get a stop here. Got pressure right now, and it's picked off! Taylor Compton. Taylor Compton's back to the 40. Taken out of bounds by Crummy.
What a play by Taylor Compton. He's been just big all year. We talked about being able to contort his body and just be in the right spot at the right time. Zach, you had mentioned that those touchdowns to interception ratio that Crummy had, he had the tendency to try to force the issue. He was trying to get the ball to Xavier Kelly there. Great play there by Taylor Compton.
That is a Spring Street Storage turnover, and that is Taylor Compton just sniffing out the screen pass. That's so neat, too, because we saw the defense get killed on that last week against OG. Taylor Compton says, I'm going to learn from that. I'm going to get up and make a huge play. What a momentum change for the Riders.
Yep, little film study and realizing that, they are going to try to force the issue to Kelly, their best player, their main stakeholder in the offense. So
we talked about Crummy being prone to interceptions, and Ryder's able to get that pivotal turnover early here. And now they've got a nice first down, 6-yard gain from Caleb Schmidt, trying to build on it, put this ball in the end zone here. Xander Post over the ball. Talked a little bit to Xander Post this week on the Bo Fry show. That was really neat to see him in there with Joe and Bo. Schmidt again, I believe, cuts his way through the center of the line.
Zach, we had talked about it prior to the game, and I didn't want to jinx anything by saying anything, but we missed on that first carry of the drive. That put Caleb Schmidt at 105 yards on the game, and that puts him at 1,000 yards on the ceiling, or on the season. Quite the accomplishment by him. We're in Game 7, and he's already eclipsed that mark. It really speaks to the production that he's been able to have and just the consistency that he is for this offense. So congrats to him, and that's a product of all the hard work that's put in leading up to the season.
And who else? He gets the ball again, tries to carry 3 or 4 guys with him. So congratulations, Caleb Schmidt, over 1,000 yards on the season just here in the Week 7, and he's going to add to it. And the touchdowns.
Absolutely. And I was checking the stats this week. I guess I didn't realize that he'd went for over 200 last week against Ottawa Glandorf, but it didn't seem. It was one of those games where he toted the rock a lot, but not to that extent. And that's one way to get awfully close to 1,000. You have a couple games over 200 yards on the season already.
Full house backfield again. Dylan Fink makes a nice move, comes along the right side. Just a nice little. Was that like a 26 probably?
Yeah, I believe so. Out of the full house look, you have. Looks like Rammel's kind of your fake to draw guys out. And then you have Caleb Schmidt leading through the hole to pick up the nearest guy, and the offensive line just kind of pried a hole open that made it quite simple to.
It's beautiful when it works like that, doesn't it?
That's absolutely how you draw it up.
Absolutely. Minerding hands the ball off again to Schmidt. They're pounding away, and he falls forward for 5 or 6 yards again. We talked about the Riders' #1 rush offense and the Van Wert's last in the WBL rush defense. We're seeing that right now because the Riders are really taking control of the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely. It goes both ways. You see Van Wert with the quick snaps and getting back to the line, but after this play,
Caleb Schmidt up the middle again. He's met, but again, he falls forward for another 2 or 3 yards, and that brings up a very manageable 3rd down here for the Ryder defense, 3rd and 2.
Right, and again, the tempo that the Rough Riders are playing, as soon as the play is over, you see Aiden Minerding going to the sideline. He comes back in, likely before all the subs are even made. It really puts the pressure on Van Wert's defensive line. They don't have time to sub in and out. If they do, they're not able to get set. It's just a valuable asset of the Rough Riders being in shape and conditioned well, and just to kind of be able to wear on teams that make these 3rd and 2s a lot simpler.
wing T formation this time for the Riders. They're going to do a little fullback dive there off the right side for Schmidt. And I laughed because he had a lot of space in front of him if he didn't trip over his own player, I think.
There was going to be one defensive back to make the tackle, and the odds for that defensive backer haven't been great this year to make that tackle. So
I think Van Wert maybe shifted towards the heavy side on that, towards the right side, and nobody over there they shifted to their right, to our left, and then nobody on the right side to make a play.
Yeah, that's what you see a lot when you do have that wing.
Full house backfield again for the Riders. Sweep to Fink. He's got blockers in front of him. Dylan Fink makes his way all the way down to the 3-yard line.
He's had a couple nice runs like that tonight, Zach. He's very shifty. Gets behind his blockers. He follows close to his guards and almost masks him until he squirts out the backside, and then here he comes barreling down. Somebody has to make an ankle tackle to keep him from walking into the end zone.
That's a great camera angle there from Doug Spencer, and you can see, I think, that Dylan Fink's able to make that cutback really well. Quick handoff to Caleb Schmidt, off tackle, and he's in the end zone for a Roughrider touchdown.
Just to cap the drive that he eclipses 1,000 yards on. He adds to his 3rd touchdown of the game, puts him at 126 yards already for the evening. Quite the performance here in terms of we're not even out of the 2nd quarter yet.
That's the 3rd Celina Cycle Center touchdown of the night for Caleb Schmidt, which is good because his dad runs the Celina Cycle Center. So. Triplets, extra point up, and it's good. No good. Oh, my. I believe that's the first missed PAT attempt this year for the Riders. That's the Eagle Loan Company extra point. It's no good. I didn't see what happened, but.
Yeah, it looked like it went wide right from what I could see from the monitor, but I don't know. Possibly just called it. Looks like he's being spoken to right now.
Well, in any respect, on the Sean Burnett Electrical scoreboard, the Riders score. They're up 20-7 over the Van Wert Cougars. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Celina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
Welcome back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. This kickoff is brought to you by Varsity Lanes, home of the state bowling champions, Varsity Lanes. We know we got a lot of viewers out there at Varsity Lanes watching us right now. We appreciate you tuning in. The triplets got to be fired up after missing that extra point. I think it's
you would think so. You switch end zones, so not a ton of wind tonight, but we'll see how this one carries. I expect it to be a little deeper than the previous two.
Triplets got to leave it a little short. And Van Wert's got a nice return. That's Xavier Kelly. You do not want him touching the ball on any extra down. He's going to take it all the way up, close to the 50-yard line. Xavier Kelly gets it on the 2 or 3 yard line. That's one of the downsides of having such a great kicker, too. Your kickoff team's gotten very little game reps this
Yeah, you often
year.
don't have to go down in cover, so the time that it does is almost catches you off guard. Obviously not the way, it's coached. They're still flying down the field ready to go make tackles, but it does add a little bit different aspect than what they're used to.
Didn't get down quite as far as I thought, so they're going to start on the 41-yard line. Quick pass from Crummy out to Micah Cohen. He's got a lot of space. He's running down the sidelines and pushed out of bounds, or pulled out of bounds, rather, at the 30-yard line.
Yep, he's their leading receiver, and you kind of see why. That was a screen play that usually has to be thrown behind the line of scrimmage for the wide receivers out in front of them to start blocking. I think they probably got away with one there on offensive pass interference, but nonetheless, it was a large pickup, large gain for the Cougars.
Crummy tries to throw deep there, had his man, and unfortunately dropped it. Number 1, Keaton Welch, he had the touchdown in the first quarter.
Nice play by Dylan Fink. You see pressure right in the face of Crummy. He's kind of got to float that ball up, gives Fink time to break on it and rip that arm through is, again, nice play and force a 2nd and 10 instead of a first down.
Dylan Fink having quite a season on the defensive side as well. 2 interceptions and really kind of that shutdown guy that we see. We don't see a lot of balls thrown his way.
Right, you see him on the far side there, and that's kind of where he stays.
Kelly lines up in the Wildcat formation, running back taking the direct snap. It's almost like they're so frustrated that he's not running the ball that they're just going to do whatever they can to put it in his hands.
Yep, they're going to continue to find ways to get it to their best playmakers. That does bring us to Ace Cut's 3rd down, money down. Be a big stop here for the Rough Riders, obviously probably in 4-down territory, so for the Van Wert Cougars. But
Crummy gets the snap, rolls out to his right, throws deep, and that's out of bounds on coverage. Dylan Fink.
Very similar to that first down play. The Rough Riders were able to be in, getting Crummy's face pretty quickly. He had to float the ball. He was trying to get out, rolling out right. Fink was on
Ryder, 26-yard line.
Keaton Welch, and the ball had to sail out of bounds.
Crummy definitely is not very comfortable when you get him running and you get people in his face. The problem is if you send people and you don't get to him, he's not afraid to step up and make a big pass.
Yep.
Huge play here for the Riders early here in the 2nd quarter. Crummy, empty backfield, takes the snap, steps up, throws deep. He's got a man open. There are just way too many defenders that are standing there not covering that.
It'll be interesting to see here on the replay. And the pressure was a little delayed. They did get there eventually, but looks like they had kind of a pick route run to get Xavier Kelly the ball. Freed him up off of Fink. There was multiple defenders around, so.
It looked like Kelly came from the left side, went all the way over to the right side of the field, and just able to escape coverage there. I don't know if everybody was in man and weren't able to keep up with him or what, but the Cougars have it now on the 10-yard line going into the end zone here. 1st and goal. Quick handoff to Kelly. Great job again by the D-line stopping him.
Yep. Picks up a couple, but holding him just a short gain. And
Crummy taking his time now getting the play in.
Yeah, the Rough Riders got the ball first to start, so they obviously want to milk as much clock as they can before they give it back if they were to score here.
Kelly again, and he goes nowhere again.
Another big play by the interior of the St. Mary's defense. You see him flying downhill and committing to selling out. That brings up an Ace Cuts money down. See if the Rough Riders fare a little better on this one to keep them out of the end zone.
I wonder if Van Wert will think about trying another screen because it didn't go well for him last time, but it was open for a second. Crummy throws it over the middle. He's got Micah Cohen. But I don't think that if he caught it, the ball did not get in the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like they're calling him short. Be interesting to see on the replay if it was a true catch if he picked that up.
Definitely looks like he caught it. It's very close to that goal line. St. Mary's going to call a timeout, try to get some of those bigger bodies in. This is a huge 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. That's going to be a Miller's Funeral Home timeout for us. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spece. Welcome to Spece Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spece Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spece and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spece Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spece Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
Well, let's set the stage for everybody here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Riders are up right now on the Sean Burnett Electrical scoreboard, 20-7. There's 2 minutes and 18 seconds left here. It is 4th and goal on the half-yard line, maybe 1-yard line here. Riders called timeout to get their big guys in. Where do you think Van Wert's going with the ball?
I think we can kind of assume they're going to utilize Crummy here. They do have Xavier Kelly in the backfield, but again, a lot of what you've seen so far, this is coming straight downhill.
And Crummy takes it around the outside for the touchdown. Ryder's had a lot of guys in the middle, and that's a nice play from the Van Wert, just recognizing that they probably are going to have a space to the outside there.
Yeah, you see the Roughriders are kind of trying to upend some of their offensive linemen, not allowing them to drive them off the ball there. But again, what that enables is when you're in man coverage on the outside, you don't really have any support from the outside in. It's all kind of inside out. So if the quarterback's athletic enough to bounce it and force it, then that's where it's at.
Griff McCracken's extra point is good. And so on the Sean Burnett Electrical scoreboard, the Roughriders 20, the Cougars 14. We're going to have 2 minutes and 15 seconds here for the Roughrider offense to see if they can score. We'll be back for that right after this.
The importance of quality driver's education for our teens is essential. Capabilities has provided classroom and in-car driving instruction for St. Mary's and surrounding communities for over 20 years. Live classroom and online options are available for our students. Capabilities also administers the Ohio BMV driver's exam for our students and the general public. Contact Capabilities today to learn more about our driver's education services.
Back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the second quarter. Ryder's going to get the ball back and have a chance to march down the field here on the Varsity Lanes kickoff. Be sure to be joining us at halftime, the Guarnieri's Pizzeria Pub and Halftime Show, where my guest is going to be Tracy Louth, here to talk a little bit about the Tailgate for Cancer and also the St. Mary's Celebrates with the Joe Ginner's book. We're going to talk about both of those things. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to go through statistics as well. And, of course, we'll have the Big Ralph Ryder replay and trivia question at halftime.
You have to be careful here, Zach, because they could go for that pooch. It could almost turn into something like an onside, and there's not a lot of time left. Or they want to take their chances and try to really pull a fast one on the Roughriders and maybe get the ball back.
I'm interested to see if the Riders will decide to go with their 2-minute offense and throw some shotgun into there and go to the passing. How many timeouts do they have left?
I believe we still have we have 2 timeouts left.
Well, that kick goes back, and that's close. It finally rolls into the end zone. Those kick returners need to know that that's a live ball, right?
Yeah, I don't know that it looked like there was some communication error. The ball did come out kind of knuckling, so landed between the both of them. Luckily ended up in the end zone. The field position ends up on the 20 and not necessarily the 2. So the Roughriders do have 2 timeouts to get this drive started. I don't know that you'll see them go full 2-minute right off the rip. They've had plenty of success, ripped quite a few big runs running the ball. So we shall see. Looks like they're coming out in a wing formation to get it rolling.
Monitoring under center. Takes the snap from Xander Post, hands it off to Dylan Fink. Little sweep or little inside sweep to that right side. Gets a few yards. Actually doesn't get as much as I thought here with the angle. Well, it's 1 or 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Riders.
Roughriders have to move quick, but you also don't want to give the ball back to Van Wert. It's usually once you see this first down, the first down of the drive on these 2-minute, 3-minute drives, that you see them with a little more up-tempo start to use those timeouts.
Riders hand the ball off. A little sweep again for Dylan Fink. Looked like about the same play, didn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Defender kind of flew upfield. Fink was able to make a cut off of him.
Clock continues to tick down. Van Wert does have 3 timeouts if they were thinking about trying to preserve some clock here. They're not calling it. Full house here for the Riders.
Yeah, I don't know that they're interested in giving the Roughriders offense any more time. You see just chunk after chunk, and Roughriders, I think you'll start to see them utilize some hurry up as right here. Do have those couple timeouts if something's going to take a little longer, but it is Fowler's TV first down there and reset the clock.
Riders running to the line, trying to keep as much time on the clock as they can. Hand off to Luke Rammel. He's up the middle, and he meets the man at the line. Clock ticks down under a minute, and the Riders are going to call a timeout. So there's 54 seconds left on the clock for the Roughriders. They've got the ball on the 41-yard line. They're marching down, trying to get a score here before halftime. We're going to take a Miller's Funeral Home timeout, and we'll be back right after this.
Calling all riders. Celina Cycle Center has all of your motorcycle, dirt bike, ATV, and e-bike needs. Need tires, parts, cleaning supplies, and riding apparel? Celina Cycle Center has you covered. If your bike needs tuned up or accessorized, mechanic and owner Aaron Schmidt will have you back on the road or trails. Stop in and see us at 6869 US Route 33 or check out our Facebook page at Celina Cycle Center. Let's ride!
Dr. Compton has been delivering quality chiropractic care for nearly 20 years. He's committed to helping you find relief as quick as possible so there's no lengthy care plans. At Neck and Back Pain Relief Center, most insurances are accepted and walk-ins are always welcome. Conveniently located in downtown St. Mary. To learn more, visit us online at smpainrelief.com and follow us on social media.
It's the name that you want to remember. Neck and Back Pain Relief Center.
We're back here at Grand Lake Health Field. 54 seconds left. Riders trying to put the ball in the end zone here at before half. Meinerding hands the ball off to Fink. Fink runs through a tackle. That's a first down. Clock will stop. Riders immediately send in Trey Moore and Grady Hughes. That's typically their passing.
Yeah, you see the Fowler's TV first down does stop the clock temporarily in the high school game, so it gives the Rough Riders to run a couple subs off and on. You do see a wide formation here with two of their pass catchers entered the game.
See what they try here. Meinerding hands the ball off. Dylan Fink around the outside. Get out of the bounds, son. There we go.
Yep, pick up another chunk, 6-7 yards. Obviously, you're going to need something a little bigger with only 31 seconds left, but getting out of bounds kind of lets you reset. You don't have to burn a timeout. Don't necessarily have to hurry around. You might see Rough Riders go to a passing play here because, again, even an incompletion does stop the clock, so have that timeout to burn.
Good heads-up play there from Dylan Fink getting out of bounds. Meinerding under center. Snap from post. He's going to try to pass it. Looking at Trey Moore's way, not available. Meinerding tries to take it up the middle and just gets met with a host of linemen. Riders call another timeout to stop the clock with 23 seconds left. We'll have the last 23 seconds of this game when we come back right after this.
St. Mary's Eagles 767 is dedicated to promoting the general welfare of the citizens of St. Mary's by giving special attention to public improvements. They are also committed to helping meet the public needs and all that relates to the betterment, convenience, and comforts of the citizens of St. Mary's. For more information on how you can become a member, call 419-394-3257 or stop in during business hours at 404 East Spring Street in St. Mary's. St. Mary's Eagles, 767. People helping people.
In need of a marketing idea for your business or organization? From concept to execution, we are your go-to for promotional products, signage, apparel, print materials, graphic design, and fundraising. Freedom Marketing Strategies is a Rough Rider-owned business with over 50 years of marketing, graphic design, and fundraising support. Call Sissy or Gail today to get started.
23 seconds left here. Riders, Aiden Meinerding looking for one of his personnel. Gallimore comes running in off the sidelines. 23 seconds left here for the Riders. No timeouts remaining. Meinerding under center. That's a reverse to Trey Moore. Trey's eating up a lot of time trying to run to the sidelines. Not able to get there. Clock is running. 13, 12, 11, 10 seconds left for the Riders. Not sure if they're going to try to get a play off or not.
It doesn't appear so. It looks like the Rough Riders are going to take this one to half. The unfortunate part of that hand back run is, he does get tackled. You don't necessarily have an option.
So a little bit of a disappointing stalled out drive there for the Riders, but nonetheless, they are up 20-14 on the Sean Barnett Electrical scoreboard. This is the Guarnieri's Pizzeria and Pub halftime show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to look at some of the statistics, and we're going to have the Big Ralph Ryder replay and trivia. We'll be back right after this.
St. Mary's traditions include football, SMAB, and Fowler's TV. Founded in 1957 by Richard and Peggy, Fowler's TV is celebrated, like a Rough Rider first down, for its dedication to high-quality electronics, custom installations of indoor and outdoor TVs, Sonos sound systems, surveillance systems, and so much more. With 12 months of special financing available on approved credit, shopping local has never been better. Fowler's knowledgeable and friendly staff uphold the tradition of exceptional customer care, servicing only what they sell with the same or next day service.
Guarnieri's Pizzeria and Pub has partnered with Ryder Nation Station this season so that every Friday night, Guarnieri's can be Roughrider Central. Guarnieri's will be streaming Roughrider football live every Friday night at 7, paired with your favorite Ryder aid. Call Guarnieri's during or after the game to place your pickup order for pizza, wings, or hoagies at 419-394-2244. Remember, Guarnieri's, home of the signature Big Ralph.
Albert Sporting Goods, outfitting your team since 1980. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. We personalize your gear with embroidery, screen printing, digitizing, and graphic design with on-site services to deliver quality uniforms, spirit wear, and fulfill every equipment need. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com.
JT's provides unique menu selections in a casual atmosphere you're sure to love. Whether you stop by for a meal or catch a game in the bullpen, make yourself at home and enjoy. Food, friends, fun. JT's Brew and Grill. Come dine with us today.
And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet.
In St. Mary's, we know that reading and writing are more than just homework. Reading and writing are how we tell stories, understand the world, and connect with each other. We're all about promoting literacy at school, at home, and in the community. Writers are readers. In October, you are invited to be a part of it all. We have big events you will not want to miss. Join us October 6th at 6 p.m. for Library Literacy Night at the St. Mary's Community Public Library. Our new literacy coaches, Mrs. Rose and Miss Goodwin, will share the updated ELA curriculum for 3rd through 5th grade and show how the science of reading is helping students grow. The library staff will also host a fun book tasting for intermediate students, just like a food tasting, but with books. More literacy nights for other grades are coming soon. You won't want to miss it.
Well, welcome back to Ryder Nation Station. This is the Guarnieri's Pizzeria and Pub halftime show, and this is your Big Ralph Ryder replay.
Oh, he's got time. He's still got time. He's going to flip it out here. It's intercepted. It's intercepted in the end zone. It is intercepted in the end zone. The Rough Riders have the ball with 21 seconds remaining. Unbelievable. All right, Vossler takes the snap, kneels down. It's over. It's over. They don't have to snap it. The final score here at Van Wert this evening. The St. Mary's Rough Riders 13 and the Van Wert Cougars 12.
Wow, that was a throwback for me. I think that was 2002, I believe. Corey Vossler had come in at quarterback, and we were able to beat the Cougars 13-12. I was on the sidelines, of course. We were just sophomores, but that was a really fun season there. And we really paid dividends a couple years later when a lot of those sophomores became seniors. Well, Drew, we're going to look at that was the Big Ralph Ryder replay, brought to you by Guarnieri's Pizzeria and Pub, home of the signature Big Ralph sub, pizza and calzone. Give them a call at 419-394-2244. Now we're going to give out the Ryder trivia for the night. Here is your Big Ralph Guarnieri's Pizzeria and Pub trivia question. Former Roughrider Jerry Kleinhentz, a two-time first-team All-WBL offensive tackle in 1970 and 1971, and a resident of Van Wert since 1978, joined Roughrider Mike Desimano, first-team All-WBL 1970 running back at the University of Dayton. Their head coach at Dayton was the grandfather of what current NFL Super Bowl winning coach? So I'll repeat that. Former Roughrider Jerry Kleinhentz, a two-time first-team All-WBL offensive tackle, which was in 1970 and 1971, and a resident of Van Wert since 1978, joined Mike Desimano, first-team All-WBL 1970, as and running back at the University of Dayton. So both of them were at the University of Dayton. Their head coach at Dayton was the grandfather of what current NFL Super Bowl winning coach? We'll try to get you that answer sometime in the third quarter. So everybody can leave comments on the YouTube station or YouTube channel live stream, or on the Facebook page on our Facebook post of this game. Or if you have my cell phone, you can text me, I guess, because that's what everybody does anyway. So we'll try to get all the correct answers, throw them in a pot, and find out the winner of that Roughrider trivia for this week. As of now, we're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Tracy Louth up here with me, and she's going to talk a little bit about the Tailgate for Cancer this year. It's going to be very exciting. We'll be back with that right after this.
Miller Funeral Home has been serving the Roughrider community in its time of need since the 70s. Our business is a family affair, dedicated to serving families with integrity, dignity, and compassion. Miller Funeral Home, proud to be a supporter of the Roughrider community. Plus One Professionals Real Estate. We're dedicated to making your move smooth and stress-free with our Plus One perks and free use of our moving truck. Plus One Realty, where our agents always go the extra step. Plus One.
Welcome back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. This is the Guarnieri's Pizzeria and Pub halftime show. I'm Zach Farrell, and joining me, very special guest this week, Tracy Louth. Thanks for being here, Tracy.
Thank you for having me.
Tracy, so you're here to talk about a couple things, but first and for the most part, we're going to talk about the Tailgate for Cancer. That's obviously near and dear to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
You've been spearheading it for many years, right?
Yes, yeah.
So what's going on this year? It's something special, right?
Yeah, we're excited to be back. We had the opportunity to partner up with the St. Mary's Theater. So our event this year is going to be at the back of the pavilion. It's going to be Saturday, October 11th, but to kick it off on Friday, October 10th, we're doing a community T-shirt, and right now I don't even know what the numbers are. I'm thinking it's over 600 T-shirts that we've sold so far. So if you haven't got your T-shirt, we can still take orders for that. It's an action-packed day. I mean, we were sort of disappointed about a noon game, but we'll be able to handle it. The 5K is going to start registration at 7:30. The Jean Cheeks 5K. Jean was a member of the Tailgate committee, and she lost her battle to breast cancer, but we're going to keep her memory going. Our race is going to be at 9 a.m., so the walkers will go down through Memorial Park in the towpath, and the runners will go through Casey Geiger.
Well, Jean was such a wonderful woman, so it's
she
great
was.
that you're able
Yes.
to honor her with that.
Mm-hmm.
So how many years had the Tailgate gone away or retired there?
Just 1 year.
Just 1 year, okay.
We debated about it, but we didn't want it to be a thing where people were tired of it.
Right.
So we wanted to try to reinvent it. So the year that we did not do the tailgate, we still had our poker run, the lake poker run, and Buckeye Bob had his golf tournament. So we still were able to donate a lot of money. And most of it, we like to keep local, but we also like to give to the James.
You guys do such a great job of having other events throughout the year that you're able to raise money for it. I'm so excited that you're able to be on the Nidec Minster Grand Pavilion this year.
Yeah.
That's just an amazing thing that I still have to pinch myself when I drive by on Front Street that that I see that in St. Mary's, Ohio, right?
Yeah. We're so blessed that Eagles had us for all the years, and we were thinking about redoing it, but when we had the opportunity to maybe try the outside venue, we wanted to give it a shot. And we've already hit our $2 million mark, so we're excited to see what this year does.
Yeah, it's going to be a really neat event there. I'm excited to see how you guys are able to utilize that space with the stage and the outdoor. Is there going to be food trucks?
Yeah, we have we have the food trucks and the meats moving. They also provide breakfast, so they're going to be there bright and early for the 5K, and they will be there throughout the day. We have Keyhole Pizza, and then we also have Day Wright's chicken that's going to be there, and they will be there throughout the day. And then Guarnieri's this year is going to be sponsoring our Bloody Mary bar at the 5K. So that's always a hit with everybody. So we're excited that they're joining our team for that. And then the game is going to start at noon. So it's going to be a busy, busy morning for all of us. But we're also having the Reed Ibram Memorial Cornhole Tournament. We were not able to back that up due to the fact that they had another cornhole tournament that they had to get to. So the bags are going to fly, they're going to registration at 11. The bags are going to fly at noon. And you're still time to register for that as well.
But nothing like watching the football game while the bags are flying too,
yeah.
right?
And so Cliff and Terry are going to play right after the game, is over. And then we do have the brawl auction. That's an exciting new thing that we sort of added last year. And we're encouraging businesses and anyone that really wants to dazzle up a brawl. We'll have it voting all day, and then they will be picking 5 winners. And then those winners will be modeled by whoever is, brave enough to do that in front of everybody.
Well, the exciting thing, as I'm seeing right now, SMAB is playing, and the alumni band is out there with them. So you have all the former SMAB players that were able to play with SMAB out there. Tracy, you talked about how it's going to be a very busy, hectic day with the game being at noon. But I guess the good part about that is you get to have live music afterwards, right?
Yes, we are going to have live music starting at 7 o'clock, and his brother Believe Me band. They're going to be playing from 7 to 10:30. And then our venue will close at 11.
Okay. So in previous years where you had a night game, it could have gotten a little bit later into the night. The nice thing is, your day's going to be over at 11.
We've all been doing it for such a long time. I mean, we just know how to finagle it at the last minute, but we wish the Buckeyes would call their times a little sooner. That would be nice.
It's always tough. I think the Buckeyes wish that they didn't have to play at noon as much as they are. It's the whole issue with Fox and all of that. So they're working through that with the big game Saturdays. So, well, in any respect, I'm so excited that St. Mary's Tailgate for Cancer is back this year after taking a year off, and it's great that they're able to use the Nidec Minster Grand Pavilion right off of South Street, part of the St. Mary's Theater now, and their great expansion. It's wonderful. It's a great event. It brings, I know, a lot of people from the area into town.
And actually this year we have a class reunion that is going to be having their class reunion at the Tailgate, so we're excited about having them. It's the class of 2000, so they're going to be celebrating their 25th class reunion there.
What a great place to have a 25th reunion at. I need to try to line that up here in a few years. Well, Tracy, we also, while we're talking about the St. Mary's Theater, want to talk about St. Mary's Celebrates. And so that is an event now. This will be the second event in the St. Mary's Celebrate series where we're inviting a former St. Mary's alumni to come and talk about a book that they've written and celebrating literature and celebrating the book. And this year it's Joe Ginner, and his book is The Christmas Couch. So can you tell me a little bit about that and your role in that?
The Christmas Couch, the book is available. I guess they're selling it at the library right now. It's going to be on Thursday night at the theater at 7 o'clock. And it is written by a local author, Joe Ginter, and it just sort of reflects back on the Christmas spirit and traditions of 1969.
And Joe Ginter is such a character, and full disclosure, he's
Yes,
my mom's cousin.
Yes,
So-
and as you read the book, you can definitely tell Joe has a little or most input in that.
And his family, just so many stories and fun quirks and
Yes.
anecdotes about their family and things like
Yes.
that. So it'll be really neat to hear some of those in person. And you're on the panel, right?
Yes.
So have you got your questions ready for that? Are you
I'm
working through
on
that
it. I'm
still?
working on it, yeah. So Miss Shelby, Rhonda Shelby is one of the panelists, and then Lynn Persinger is a panelist as well.
That's really amazing. We're so excited that not only do you have the Tailgate for Cancer coming, but we also have that St. Mary's Celebrates that's coming up. I hope everybody's able to come out to both. Nobody has any excuse anymore to be saying that there's nothing to do in St. Mary's.
That's right.
There is something always going on around here, and thanks to the theater and to people like you for putting on events like this, that we're able to showcase that and showcase our town, right?
Thank you. Yeah, and I guess before we were always saying together we will win. This year our motto is new direction, same goal. So we're going to continue the fight.
And I think it's apropos while we sit here and talk about this too, that for the viewers who weren't here in the stands, there was a moment of silence before the game for Connie Triplett.
Yes. Connie was a very special person.
She was just so dedicated to children and to teaching, and as much as she was dedicated to those things, just as a person, she was just wonderful.
She was a bright of shining light to everyone.
Over 30 years of dedication to Holy Rosary, Moulton, and East Elementary as a teacher. But beyond that, I mean, I was on the Big Brothers Big Sisters board with her. She was incredible, just gave every ounce of energy that she had to other people in that service. So we wanted to share that with anybody watching at home. Unfortunately, she passed away yesterday, and her whole family and friends are in our thoughts and prayers. But, man, we all felt like friends of her because she was just wonderful.
Absolutely. It was a great loss for all of us.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Drew Jacobs back in your seat, and we're going to look at some of the statistics and talk about the second half. We'll be back with that right after this.
All right. Thank you.
Touchdown! Santa doesn't need a tush push. That reminds me. I challenge you to read The Christmas Couch on your couch this Christmas. It's all about surviving Christmas Eve in 1969.
Join us for our second annual St. Mary's Celebrates Education, Writing, and the Power of Stories with featured local author Joe Ginter and panelists Rhonda Shelby, Tracy Louth, and Lynn Persinger. This is a free event to attend. Secure your books by going to the theater website.
Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Zach Farrell and Drew Jacobs joins me again. Drew, we're looking at this SMAB along with the Alumni Band playing the fight song tonight. This is one of the coolest aspects of homecoming night. Look how many current and former band members we have out there. And you pointed something out to me that Riley Anderson, the homecoming queen tonight, is right there in the middle playing with them, right?
Yeah, directly front and center, exactly where you want the homecoming queen to be. It's kind of funny how that worked out there in her position as a majorette. So
we appreciate the teams are back out on the field because I think with the Alumni, Van Wert had a very long band performance, and now with the Alumni Band, there's a minute left ticking down on the halftime clock. Now, usually that does get extended out a little bit. But, Drew, maybe we could talk a little bit about some of the statistics from the first half.
yeah, we can roll through some of those. We'll start with St. Mary's first. 20 points in the first half. Did miss that extra point, but still do have a 6-point lead. They had 11 total first downs, 209 total yards. We did throw one pass, completed it. It was that nice one on the first drive of the game, actually, that was caught by Grady Hughes for 12 yards. Rushing, you've seen the Roughriders kind of go wild as anticipated. 32 attempts, 197 yards. 133 of those yards can be contributed to Caleb Schmidt. He has all 3 touchdowns. Dylan Fink does have 64 yards. Luke Ramel adds in 9. The Rough Riders, penalty-wise, have been able to maintain. They do have 25 yards worth of penalties on 3 calls. They're 5 for 7 on 3rd down, which has been big to continue to keep the offense on the field. You don't want to not convert against these Van Wert Cougars because, again, they're in a similar situation. We've struggled to contain some of the passing game, although we've been better against the run. They also have not been able to really stop the run, and we haven't had to throw it as much. Time of possession, we've had the ball for 14 minutes and 22 seconds, while Van Wert's had it for 9 minutes and 38 seconds. Flipping over to some of Van Wert's offensive statistics, 189 total yards and 10 first downs. Zach Crummy is 9 for 13. He does have 1 touchdown with a long of 46 yards and then 1 interception when Taylor Compton made the nice play. Again, we talked about that in pregame. The winning the turnover battle is going to be so crucial in this game. And after the first half, you see it kind of plays out. The Rough Riders do have a lead after winning that in the first half. Xavier Kelly does have 9 rushes for only 19 yards. 13 of those yards came on 1 run. So, again, the Rough Riders have done a nice job on kind of bottling up one of their big players. The passing game, you've seen Micah Cohen, the leading receiver, kind of bust loose a couple times. He's caught 5 of the 6 passes thrown his way for 103 yards. Keaton Welsh also has 2 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Kelly sprinkles in 2 more catches of 32 yards. As a whole, the Rough Riders are going to continue to look to do what they did in the first half. You want them to contain the ball, drag these clocks out. The big scores are nice, but again, you can wear and tear on a team and kind of take their will away as you hold the ball for that long. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting in the second half. I guess to see whether the St. Mary's defense can get another stop from the Van Wert offense. I mean, Van Wert the defense has stopped them, held them to some big 4th downs, but they've gotten conversions on those.
Correct. Yeah, you've seen them. They've got them right there on the edge. It's just going to take one play at one time to force that stop. And as crazy as it sounds, that might be the only stop that you need if the offense continues on the same pace that they've been on. You got the 1 in the first half. If you get 1 in the second half, that might be enough to seal the game for the Rough Riders. So Van Wert, again, does start with the ball. You can kind of set the tone here early. If you get that stop early, then you may be able to run away with this game.
Teams are coming out onto the field now for the Varsity Lanes kickoff. Thank you to Varsity Lanes for sponsoring our kickoffs this year. Varsity Lanes, where home of the state bowling champions. I was going to say we're Champions Bowl, but I just kind of made that up on the fly.
Yeah, I've bowled there before myself, and I'm definitely far from a champion. So,
well, the official seems set on letting the last 20 seconds take off the clock. We're going to go ahead and read the Rough Rider trivia question again. Former Rough Rider Jerry Kleinhens, a 2-time first-team All-WBL offensive tackle, 1970, 1971, and a resident of Van Wert since 1978, joined Rough Rider Mike Desimano, first-team All-WBL 1970 running back at the University of Dayton. Their head coach at Dayton was the grandfather of what current NFL Super Bowl winning head coach? So Jerry Kleinhens and Mike Desimano played at the University of Dayton, and their head coach there was the grandfather of what current NFL Super Bowl winning coach? We'll have the answer here maybe halfway through the third quarter, depending on how things go here. So nonetheless, the Riders looking to kick off here. Brady Triplett puts his foot into it, and that is driven back well into the end zone. No return here for the Cougars.
Much more as expected. It's nice to see Brady Triplett kind of bounce back from a couple of those kicks that, it's hard to hold a high school kicker to the standard of putting it in the end zone. But again, it's just something that we've become accustomed to. So,
yeah, the Varsity Lanes temperature right now to start the second half, is 74 degrees, Drew. So it has dropped down from that 83, but still 74 degrees on October 3rd. Clear skies. Crummy hands the ball.
Oh, football's on the ground. There's your stop that we talked about on the first play of scrimmage. A little RPO action from Crummy and Xavier Kelly. One thought one had the ball, the other did not. Owen Ott falls on it. Right place, right time. Rough Riders are going to have the ball here inside the red zone, immediately to start the second half.
What an amazing Spring Street turnover. Spring Street storage turnover there for the Riders. What a way to a turnover there inside the red zone. Riders are in the Mike Compton neck and back pain relief red zone right away, looking to get a score here and go up by another 2 touchdowns again against the Cougars. Full set backfield. Meinerding hands it off to Schmidt up the middle. Schmidt's running through some tackles. He's down all the way to the 3-yard line. I don't think he was touched to the line, Drew.
I don't believe so either. You see the Rough Riders get back in that full house backfield again. It's just coming right at you, just straight dive. Caleb Schmidt's our best versus what they can do. And now the Rough Riders are inside the 5-yard line, 3rd play of the second half. So
Meinerding under center. Longer count. Hands off to Schmidt. He's in for a Rough Rider touchdown right off the left side of the line.
Just like that, Caleb Schmidt scores his 4th touchdown of the night. You'd love to see the Rough Riders kind of come out with an edge, get the early turnover that we talked about, punch it in immediately, hopefully take the wind out of some of the Van Wert sails and move forward. It looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. They're going to try to get back to even with that missed extra point earlier in the game.
That was a Celina Cycle Center touchdown there for Caleb Schmidt again, number 4 of the night. Riders trying for the Eagle Loan Company of Celina extra point, 2-point conversion. Hand the ball off to Caleb Schmidt. Why not? Easily into the end zone for that 2-point conversion, and if nothing else, the scoreboard looks a lot prettier.
Yeah, you know, you hate that you miss that extra point. And, Brady Tripple's been perfect all year long, so you can't fault him at that. But being able to get back to that even score just makes you feel better. You see so many games come down to those missed extra points and missed field goals, and you'd hate for it to get close and go to that. So it's great to punch it in. And
let's give credit to that offensive line, too. Credit where it's due. Xander Post at center, Cooper Glass at guard, Savion Murphy at guard, Keelan Baker at tackle, LJ Ruane at tackle, and Cameron Gallimore at tight end. I think they had some extra guys in there, but I didn't see all of them, so we'll try to get their numbers as the day goes, but they're doing an amazing job. Caleb Schmidt is running it untouched into the end zone on that touchdown and 2-point conversion.
Yeah, you know, it's one thing for a guy to run for be on his 19th, going on to his 20th rush of the night for 150 yards and 4 touchdowns, but when he's still, you know, they know the ball is going back, it's going to end up in his hands, and you still can't stop it. It's definitely some credit, giving credit to where the credit's due on that offensive line, just being man movers up front and making things easy.
Feels like we were just here because we were. Brady Triplett kicking the ball off just less than 30 seconds off the clock for the Riders there to get that score. Brady Triplett kicks it deep, and it's definitely into the end zone again for another touchback. Just 11 minutes and 34 seconds.
We had stressed that the Rough Riders would probably win this half as they were able to hold on to the ball and just try to drain the clock and lean on the Cougars, but you can't really complain about a touchdown within the first 26 seconds when you weren't even starting with the ball.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to complain about it. You talked early on about turnovers being a huge part of this matchup, and that the Riders are on the positive side, and Van Wert was hovering around the negative side, I think, or they were -2.
They were at +2 on the year.
2.
I think they're square now because the Rough Riders have forced 2 this evening. But again, it never fails that you win the turnover battle, and your chances are so much better.
Well, Crummy has a nice pass to number 10, Micah Cowan, but there is a Roots Pub penalty on the play thrown in there at the end. We'll have to listen here. It could be a face mask.
Incidental face mask. Defense. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
As you heard, fortunately, it's the incidental type, so 5 yards. Let's see here on the Larry Schaff Auto Sales replay. Looked like he kind of had his hand wrapped around there, maybe his arm. Crummy right back into action here. Throws out to number 10. That's Cowan again. Ball's loose. And officials saying he was down. Riders thought they got it one, but Cowan is injured on that play. That does not look good because he is their biggest wide receiver, as we talked about early in the game, and he is in a lot of pain. Since there's an injured man on the field, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll see if the Riders can get a stop here. We'll be back.
Hold your horses, literally. Here comes Rocky, trotting in with some big news.
Yeehaw, Ryder Nation. The Ryder Rooters give back to every Roughrider sports program.
That's right. Ryder Rooters help supply gear, scoreboards, and the extras our athletes need to succeed. So saddle up and purchase your Ryder Rooter membership, because here at St. Mary's, Riders ride together.
Thank you for your support. Go Riders!
Are you looking for a fun place to grab a bite to eat and a few drinks? Then stop by Roots Pub on Spring Street in downtown St. Mary's. The kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The food menu still has all the classic favorites, but now also has some tasty new options. Roots Pub always has a game on and has live entertainment every weekend from some of the best bands around. Check out our Facebook page for a full entertainment schedule and daily food specials. Roots Pub, your go-to place for great food, cold drinks, and a fun atmosphere.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
I'm Larry Gruber, longtime educator and St. Mary's wrestling coach.
If you're in need for any electrical upgrades, whether big or small, for your business or home, reach out to Sean Barnett Electrical at 567-259-8343.
Trying to do electrical work on your own can be shocking and painful.
Wow! Hi, I'm Sean Barnett with Sean Barnett Electrical for your home or your business, and I do support this pinch.
Well, we're back here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. The good thing that we just saw Micah Cowan get up on his own weight and able to walk off the field. Definitely looked bad when he was tackled. I think his leg was twisted, so maybe something with his knee or ankle. But after working on him for a little bit there, he was able to get up and walk off the field. So that's good to see from the Van Wert side. Crummey's in the backfield, hands the ball off to Kelly. Kelly's trying to work around the left side, and he goes nowhere. Riders stop him again, tackle for a loss. I see Cole Mullins in that. I see who else we got in that.
Had a couple of those defensive interior guys. They really reset the line of scrimmage, and Kelly was trying to bounce it, but again, when you run to the short side, you run out of grass pretty quickly, so I ended up in a loss of one.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 3. Ace cuts money down for the Rough Rider defense, looking to stop Crummey. Ooh. That time Cole Mullins jumps.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense. Number 51.
Oh, we're not trying to give him some words of encouragement there, it looks like.
I do believe you're correct on that. A little different than the one earlier with Murphy. This one stings a little more because it does result in a first down when we were out of money down. Hopefully get off the field again. So now you just got to reset. It's not the one thing that's nice about having the 2-score lead. You do make a mistake. It doesn't hurt as bad. You just kind of refocus and go back, get them back to another 3rd down.
1st and 10 for the Cougars. They look to the sidelines to get the play from their coach. Taking their time a little bit more here than they did in the first half. Crummey in shotgun. Kelly to his right. Kelly in motion. Crum has pressure right now. He gets past it and throws deep to 10. No, 18, I'm sorry.
Looked like that ball came out of his hands. Not quite a pretty spiral, so I'm guessing the receiver, it looked like both Trey Moore and the receiver were expecting that ball to kind of be more on the line, and they were both looking to undercut it, and that ball sailed over both of them. So luckily for the Rough Riders, you don't give up 6 there. It takes you to 2nd and 10.
Cole Mullins nearly had a sack on that. Evan Kennecke unable to catch it down the field, number 18. Crummey all alone in the backfield now. Quick pass out to the side, and he's got number 10. That's Cowan. So he's back in the game, Micah Cowan.
You see him immediately come in from the sidelines to make a play for the Cougars. He catches a short stop route and able to get close to a first down.
Running, I would say, a little gingerly there.
Yeah.
But when he's your number one guy, sure hands. it's great that he's able to get back in the game. Just a junior, 6'2", 187-pound Micah Cowan for Van Wert. Crummy on this money down, looks deep, looking for Cowan. And, oh, my, I think Cowan came up with that. Unbelievable. Right over right over Childs' head. Logan Childs.
That was a nice catch. Childs is in great position. You would hope that ideally he'd turned his head and maybe make a play on the ball, but you give up that step and you kind of got to get back within face of the wide receiver. Sometimes there's a reason that Micah Cowan's their leading receiver. It's just the way it worked out for him.
Man, it just seems like any time the Van Wert's in a 3rd down or 4th down, they found a way to get it done tonight. Quick pass out to Cowan again. Or is that number?
I believe that was.
Is that 16?
16 or 18.
Their 10s, 8s, and 6s look very similar on those jerseys.
Actually, it's 18. It's number 18.
So that's Evan Kennecke there with a nice pass. Van Wert trying to get a score back here against the Riders. 2nd and 4 on the 5-yard line. They can get a first down if they get to the inside the 1-yard line. Crummy's got pressure. He doesn't see him. Zach Myers trying to get there just short, and Crummy able to find his receiver, Keaton Welch, in the end zone. And go ahead.
Kind of one of those scramble drills. He's continuing to roll. It's the exact design that you're looking for in that play, unfortunately. It's a long time to cover for Trey Moore. He started the outside. That receiver ends up back on the inside, basically right in line with the goalpost. Again, you bring pressure from the backside, and they catch you in it, and Crummy was able to roll away from it.
Van Wert looking for the extra point. Looks like Griff McCracken's kick was good. And so on the Sean Barnett Electrical scoreboard, Rough Riders 28, Cougars 21. We'll be back with more right after this.
Are you in the need of storage space? At Spring Street Storage, we have several units to help organize your life. From 10 by 10 to 10 by 30, we have units to keep your valuables dry and clean. We offer monthly rentals and long-term discounts. Give us a call at 567-279-1536 for all your storage needs.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's, proud to support Rough Rider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Rough Riders football game, streamed on Ryder Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, drinks, sports.
Zach Farrell, Drew Jacobs, Ryder Nation Station, St. Mary's, Ohio. Rough Riders are still up on Van Wert 28-21, but Van Wert trying to mount a comeback here, not going away.
Yeah, we'll see. The last kickoff by Van Wert, they had kicked that knuckler that went between both return men, so we'll see what they decide to do here, and maybe the Rough Riders get a shot to run one back.
This kickoff is brought to you by Varsity Lanes. The kick is short, and that's John Young's. Saw him take one earlier in the game. Does a nice job of getting forward and getting some yards out of that.
Yep, field that on around 25 and end up 35, 36-yard line. Again, it's great starting field position. And Van Wert's willing to sacrifice that and rather than kicking the ball deep to Fink or Moore.
What was the average drive start looking like for both teams?
Looks like for the Rough Riders, they started on the 41, and then for Van Wert, they started on the 24 throughout the first half. So
that's a huge advantage for the Rough Riders there, starting almost 20 yards in front of Van Wert. Unfortunately, Van Wert's done a good job of scoring even when they've had long fields. Caleb Schmidt, though, has a nice run on the first down there, off tackle for 8 yards. That brings up a very manageable 2nd and 2 for the Rough Rider offense here, as they need to come back down and respond, I think.
Yeah, you flip a little momentum with the turnover. Van Wert answers, and again, you just have to make sure you keep the ball moving and don't lose that momentum that you've once gained from those big scores.
Full house backfield. Schmidt off tackle again. He's got his feet up the sidelines, gets pushed out of bounds around the 32, 33-yard line of Van Wert. Riders are running down the field. Schmidt very close to if 52 just kind of turns around and takes the guy. Schmidt maybe goes up the sidelines there.
Yeah, you've seen the Rough Riders continue to use the full house. This has got to be one of the most utilized that they've done, or the most they've utilized it throughout the year so far.
Absolutely. Monitoring under center. Schmidt right up the middle, untouched for nearly 5 yards, and then taken down maybe at the 6 or 7 yards down the field. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4. Riders continue to move inside and outside from Schmidt right now.
Yep, they just continue to go back to the well. Schmidt's up to 22 carries on the night, and I don't anticipate him falling much short of 30 as the game continues on.
Good old-fashioned Rough Rider football. I do remember a couple games where it was full house check with me almost the entire game. But certain teams, it's just they're primed for it. And it's fun when you do that because it just feels like you're just in the other team's heads. Schmidt, a little off tackle there, out of the wing formation. Gets less yards than he's been getting, but still very close to the Rough Rider first down.
You've seen the Rough Riders utilize that wing position, not as much tonight, but when they have utilized it, it's been to the weak side. They haven't gone a ton towards the tight end and wing. So again, that time they did go towards it, and you see Van Wert, they were able to shift the defense. You know, they're walking six guys close to the line of scrimmage, and you have 3 backers that are within 4 yards of the ball.
Monitoring wing formation to the right, hands off the trap again. I think that's Schmidt as well. Yep. Schmidt just takes the whole pile with him way down the field. Good surge from that line. Look at that. The whole line was 5 yards down the field.
Right, yeah, you see that. You know, you see the guardian cap of Xavier Post. Anytime when he's taking his guy that's lined up over him and being able to subplant him 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, that's quite a push to be able to run behind.
Riders are now in the Dr. Mike Compton Neck and Back Pain Relief Center red zone. I believe they are 4 for 4 on the night. Well, actually, they weren't in there on that long run, but 3 for 3 in the red zone. Schmidt again, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down the field. Why not? Just a steady dose of Schmidt.
Yep. It's the old adage is it's not broke, don't fix it. The Rough Riders just continue to utilize him. Puts him at 25 on the night, and he's actually eclipsed the 200-yard mark. He's at 213 yards on the night, averaging about 8.5 a pop.
Incredible. I've thought that some of these were traps, but after watching the replays, these are just dives.
I believe they're just straight dives, which is even crazier. You know, and we had talked about it to start the game. You know, you'd seen maybe a sweep out wide or a trap, and the Rough Riders have essentially decided, you know what, we're just going to go man on man and move guys out of the way with dives and not have to worry about pulling and anything of that nature. Again, leads to another Rough Rider touchdown by Caleb Schmidt. That makes 5 on the night. What an incredible night he is having. You know, he already set the record earlier in the season. He's eclipsed 1,000 yards tonight. The night just keeps getting better for him.
But you know, why hand it to anybody else when you're that close to the goal line? You know, do have an injured St. Mary's player that's having some of his teammates take him off the field here. We're going to take a quick break. I think we're going to have the extra point, but I think it's going to be a little bit time out on the field. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey there, Rough Rider country. If you need a van, truck, car, SUV, motorcycle, camper, boat, or any other form of transportation, come on down to Schaff Auto Sales. I know you got vehicle needs, and I got needs too. I need to know that you got the right kind of truck to get the job done. And I need to know that you got a fun set of wheels to cruise around in.
We're back. Keelan Baker able to get off the field there. Not exactly sure what was going on with him, if he was sick, but nonetheless, his replacement's in on the extra point. Brady Triplett puts it down and puts it up, and it's in for a great Celina Eagle Loan Company extra point. You can see another replay here of the Celina Cycle Center touchdown from Caleb Schmidt, number 5 on the night.
Just relentless effort by that offensive line and by Caleb Schmidt tonight. There's just no answer from the Van Wert side of the ball. You know, you think there'd be something that you would be able to go to try to.
We're going to stay right here and actually give the trivia answer out right now. So just a reminder that former Roughrider Jerry Kleinhans, a two-time first-team All-WBL offensive tackle in 1970, 1971, and a resident of Van Wert since 1978, joined Roughrider Mike Desimano, first-team All-WBL 1970 running back at the University of Dayton. Their head coach at Dayton was the grandfather of what current NFL Super Bowl winning head coach? Do you know, Drew, without looking?
I would not have known this one, Zach. I did see the answer, but
that answer is Sean McVay, Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl 56 winner. He is the grandson of John McVay, who was the UD coach from 1965 to 1972. Also coached the New York Giants 1976 to 1978, which was the Miracle in the Meadowland and the Fumble. The vice president of the San Francisco 49ers and from 1980 to 1999, and he's in the 49ers Hall of Fame. John McVay coached 2 Rough Riders, and of course his son Sean McVay is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And the winner tonight is Cindy Snyder. So congratulations, Cindy. I'm sorry, Cindy Snyder did not have the correct answer. I apologize, Cindy. The correct answer was Mike Ross.
See, after we announced that, or as we were announcing that, Brady Triplett was able to kick the ball his deepest one of the night. It was about 2 yards short of the end line underneath the goalpost. So Van Wert offense comes back on the field, looking to regain some of the momentum they've lost.
Crummy in the backfield. He's going to be sacked. Cole Mullins making up for that penalty last drive, gets another sack. I think he started last drive off, though, with getting a sack on the first or second down.
Yeah.
Crummy trying to do a pump fake down the field.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. It'll be interesting if the conversation between some of those interior defensive line, because thus far on both sacks, we followed up with an offside penalty, so hopefully we do not do the same here.
Whew. As you say that, defensive lineman jumps a little bit. Crummy in the backfield. No running backs with him. Empty set. Throws it quickly out there to Cowan. Cowan just doesn't have the same speed, I think, with that injury.
No, I believe you're right there, Zach. That's a very good play there by the Rough Rider defender. That's Cowan's 10th catch of the night. So to keep him in front and keep it at a 3rd and long, get you to a ace cuts money down here. Hopefully the Rough Riders can get off the field with a long conversion.
Huge 3rd and 17. Crummy taking the back. He's got pressure. They're going to get to him again. That's a Spring Street Storage sack. We got Murray. We got Compton. Owen Ott. They're all dancing.
A lot of Rough Riders in there having a good time right now. You pin your ears back on that 3rd and long, and you get there in time, and here comes the Van Wert punt team. They don't really have an option here. I think if they would have kept it close, they would have likely tried to keep the offense out there. But at 4th and 19, you don't have a whole lot of options.
4th and 19 from the 11-yard line. I think that you got to try to block this if you're St. Mary's, right?
Yeah, you could really put the nail in the coffin here if you turn this into 6.
They do not send everybody there. They're trying to run it back. Trey Moore calls a fair catch, and he muffs the ball. And
fortunately, there it does look like Van Wert has recovered the ball. It took the bounce directly right back up to it. Looks like there was room from in between him and Fink to be able to make that catch. It looks like it was just misjudged by Trey Moore. You see that turnover flip. Now Van Wert gets one of their own to capitalize. Kind of just like a deep pass play there. Unfortunately for the Rough Riders, they get the ball in the 42 now. Offense back on the field. See how hopefully the Rough Riders defense can respond here and continue the pressure.
Huge potential momentum swing. Crummy getting the ball right away. He's got pressure again, but he buys himself some time. Gets it downfield to Cowan, and Cowan's running away from Childs. He goes all the way for a touchdown. Just like that. No flags on the field. Van Wert strikes.
What a change of momentum there, Zach. You hate to see that for the Rough Riders. You go from a 4th and 19 to forcing the punt to very next play. You see it. It's textbook from Van Wert. You force a turnover, you take the big shot, and that's what they did. Fortunately, finding their big player. That puts Micah Cowan at over 200 yards on the night with 2 touchdowns.
Unbelievable change of events there for these two teams. Defense gets a stop, muffs the punt. Next play, Van Wert scores. Extra point is good, so on the Sean Burnett Electrical scoreboard, it's the Roughriders 35, the Van Wert Cougars 28. 3 minutes, 53 seconds left here in the third quarter. We'll be back right after this.
Hey there, Rough Rider country. If you need a van, truck, car, SUV, motorcycle, camper, boat, or any other form of transportation, come on down to Schaff Auto Sales. I know you got vehicle needs, and I got needs too. I need to know that you got the right kind of truck to get the job done. And I need to know that you got a fun set of wheels to cruise around in. And I need to know that your kids are safe when you take them for a ride.
Thanks, Aaron High, the car guy.
I'm Aaron High, the car guy with Schaff Auto Sales. I sell cars to Rough Rider fans, because that's what I am, and that's who I care about.
Welcome back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Every time we think that this game is going to get out of hand or Riders are going to get up by 3 scores, something happens and Van Wert's able to get back in this game. Riders still up by 1 score, and they will be receiving the ball on this Varsity Lanes kickoff. But as you're seeing on your screen there, Van Wert able to did we get a number on that pass, how long it was?
I believe 58, I believe was the long.
58-yard pass from Crummy to Cowan. We were just talking about how Cowan looked like he was maybe slowing down a little bit with that injury, but able to get behind Logan Childs on that.
Yeah, it helps when Crummy rolls out and puts it right on his face mask. He didn't have to break stride. He's able to keep running and just essentially run away from the defender.
Great pass there from Crummy. McCracken does try the onside kick. Looks like St. Mary's recovered the ball, though.
It was bouncing around in there, Zach. I'm not 100% sure where it ended up. We had talked about this, St. Mary's came out of the bottom of the pile.
Logan Childs.
Again, it's kind of a desperation attempt. Only down 7. It seems kind of crazy to be doing that. But again, their defense has shown to not really have an answer for what the Rough Riders offense is adding to it. So you might see it multiple more times throughout the night.
Wow, watching on that Larry Schaff Auto Sales replay, you are able to see that ball was bouncing around a little bit. I don't think it looked like it was going to go 10 yards, but I don't blame you want your kick return team to go out there and get it sometimes.
Yeah, it's an impossible decision to make because the time that you don't go get it, then it bounces 10 and Van Wert recovers it, and then there's always that question to ask as well. Schmidt takes the carry, goes for about 6 yards. Rough Riders again have to answer with some momentum loss.
Surprise, surprise.
Right, yeah.
Caleb Schmidt off tackle again. Yeah, you're right. That I don't even want to say it out loud, but what the Riders cannot do right here is get a big penalty or get a turnover.
Yep.
They need to march down the field and put the ball in the end zone again. Keep that 2-touchdown lead on the Cougars and try to slow them down on offense. Your defense did great until that muffed punt.
Right, yep. Yeah, a little confidence from the defense. Yeah, that big play that goes over the top, but I'll score here, give them a breather on the sideline, let them go back to doing what they were doing on that first drive.
Schmidt again up the middle, just a dive, carries the pile very close to the first down. They're going to say third down, though, in inches. It'll say 3rd and 1 on the scoreboard, but that is 3rd and maybe 3 inches.
There is not much to go there.
Minerding comes out, gets a play from Seth Voorhees on the sidelines and shares it with his teammates. I think it's going to be another handoff to Schmidt. Schmidt off tackle, no problem getting the first down there. That's a Fowler's TV first down for the Rough Rider offense. They continue to run and they continue to eat up the clock, taking their time as they march down the field.
Yeah, you see there. They're just why they kick the onside kick, Zach. It's almost too easy for the Rough Riders right now when things are going right and there's, like you had said, as long as it's not a self-inflicted wound, then the Rough Riders seem to be marching.
Minerding taking his time. Play comes in. Under Xander Post to take the snap. This time hands the ball off to Luke Rammel. Luke's going around the outside. down the sidelines and out of bounds. Good sweep there from Luke Rammel.
Yep, showed some patience there. You know, you get guards out in front and just kind of continue to follow them. Got a double team out in front, and Rammel stretches it, and is able to turn it up the sidelines. And
really good angle there from our camera crew, and you're able to see Caleb Schmidt out in front of that, leading that. I think he got 2 nice blocks on that.
Yep, coming right into your living room.
It's great to see that even though he's got over 220 yards, he's still able to get out there and block for his other running backs too. Full house backfield for Minor Ding. Here comes the snap to Caleb Schmidt. Nobody's touching him. He's strolling into the end zone for another Rough Rider touchdown. That's number 6.
Zach, that was carry number 30. That's touchdown number 6 on the night. The accolades just keep piling up for Caleb on the evening.
That just tied his own record for number. That just tied his own record for number of touchdowns in a game. And thanks to Andy Rammel sitting beside me, he said that he just set the scoring record for a game because he had the 2-point conversion.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So Caleb Schmidt is now the single game scoring record for Rough Rider players of all time. Unbelievable. And it's not even the fourth quarter yet, Drew. Let's watch it right here, up the middle, untouched. Again, great blocking at the line. Caleb Schmidt down the field. That's a Celina Cycle Center touchdown, his 6th of the evening. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have more of this crazy game.
TSC is bringing fiber optic high-speed internet to your rural community. Power your household with upload and download speeds as high as 1 gigabit. GigaSpire technology provides blazing fast speeds and whole home coverage so you can enjoy an unrivaled online experience. At TSC, we look forward to bringing you hometown local service, saving you money, and welcoming you to the TSC Gigahood.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's, proud to support Rough Rider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Rough Riders football game, streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, drinks, sports.
Zach Farrell, Drew Jacobs, Rider Nation Station, back here at Grand Lake Health System Field, St. Mary's, Ohio, where Caleb Schmidt has 252 yards, 6 touchdowns, and your Riders are up 42-28 over the Van Wert Cougars. Triplets kick is deep and into the end zone again. You can tell he is feeling it right now.
Yep, kind of bounced back from that one in the first half. Great to see what the expectation is for him.
As we talked about, Caleb Schmidt becomes the all-time scoring record in a game because he's got 6 touchdowns that matches his own record plus the 2-point conversion. You were saying, Drew, he's got 30 carries and 6 of those are touchdowns. That's 20% of his carries are touchdowns with 30 carries. That's unbelievable.
Doing it at 8.4 yards a carry, it's just unprecedented what he's doing right now.
Crummy with the ball, throws it out there to Kelly on that little flat route. Rider fans wanted holding there on number 16, not called. To be fair, the refs have not called a lot of holding tonight on either team. I've seen some questionable things.
Right. You do see, though, he continues to fight through the play and actually is kind of in on the tackle first. It cuts it to a 4-yard gain. Again, you just cannot have those big plays. We cannot stress it enough. We've seen it time and time again, just flip the momentum. You just make them methodically, use the time.
Crummy under pressure.
You'll run into things like this. Another great play by the Rough Rider defensive line. A little big man dance. We love the celebration.
Matt Murray, Cole Mullins have a meeting at the quarterback. That's going to be a Spring Street Storage sack.
That's 4 sacks on the night for the Rough Riders.
That's going to bring, I don't know, was there a penalty on the play? They have called an after the play.
Holding. And number 10 yards from the previous spot.
Play.
First down.
Unable to see that Roots Pub penalty on the play. I didn't see a flag, did you? Oh, so maybe they're going to call holding on the defensive back there.
Yeah, it looks like downfield somebody maybe got hands in the jersey of Xavier Kelly.
Back on the field on the action, just a little handoff to Xavier Kelly, and it goes nowhere. Again, great job by this defense of stopping the rushing attack of the Van Wert Cougars tonight. How many rushing yards do they have?
Zach, they're at, where is it? Where'd it go? They're at 11 rushing yards on 18 attempts. I think that takes into account for the sack, but if you look at Xavier Kelly alone, he has 11 rushes for 18 yards. Again, just continuing to bottle them up.
Unbelievable. That Xavier Kelly is averaging 146 yards per game, and he's held to 18 right now. Neat little crossing route there from the Cougars. They get the ball to Cowan, and he's able to take it down the field.
I think that was kind of like a jailbreak screen. You see the defensive line kind of running free, the center guard release, and get a lot of bodies on the Taylor Compton, and then what that leaves is it catches you in the blitz. DBs are bailing out, and room to run for Cowan there to continue his great night on the field. We
talked about this last week with OG. Those offensive linemen can be downfield as long as the pass is behind the line of scrimmage, and it was. There's a big holding right there that got called, fortunately, and the Riders sacked him anyway. They may just take the sack,
I'm guessing
right?
You're going to see a decline of that penalty because I believe the sack is going to result in, obviously a second down, and then along with that, it's going to be, I think, greater than 10 yards deeper than, which is what the holding would have equated to. So
yeah, you can see right there, number 16 for Van Wert, Gary Hillary holding Rammel on that play. Rammel still broke through it and I think got part of the sack.
Yeah, the defensive line's really starting to feast with the Van Wert offensive line. I looked and kind of noted because a lot of times what you see
holding
is
offense number 16. Penalties decline. Quarter's over.
Well, with that, as you heard, with that declining penalty, the third quarter is over. On the Sean Barnett Electrical scoreboard, it's the Roughriders 42, the Cougars 28. We're going to come back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Hi, I'm Jay Gibson, proud owner of Varsity Lanes since 2003. Visit Varsity Lanes for exceptional fun and mouth-watering food. Opt for our classic ham and cheese or choose from various other delectable options. Every Friday night, join Rough Rider fans in the lounge for food, drinks, and St. Mary's football. Can't make it? Takeout and delivery service is available. Varsity Lanes is your go-to spot for daily lunch specials and dinner options. Whether you dine in, take out, or opt for delivery, Varsity Lanes, locally owned and operated, and the home of state bowling champions, and where amazing dining meets fun. Tempted? Visit or call us now. Have you made the call yet?
We did. We think he broke the Brandon Bowers touchback record with that last one.
And we're back here at Rough Rider Field. Drew and Zach, we were discussing some of the potential records that Caleb Schmidt was potentially going to break tonight, and I believe we might have discovered one that Brady Triplett had.
Yeah, Brady Triplett broke the Brandon Bowers touchback record, we believe, with that last touchback. Pretty incredible, 7 games into the season, already broke that record. On the field, though, Crummy, second down, looking deep for a wide receiver. We lost feed there, but I can tell you down the field, that pass falls incomplete, fortunately. Xavier Kelly from the backfield, I think, a little wheel route there up the sideline.
Yeah, it was a nice job there by the defender staying in phase with them, knowing that was probably going to turn into something a little deeper than that initial flat route that he had exposed it to be. Great awareness and just making sure you don't want to give up the sticks here. It's 3rd and 20. You get yourself an ace cuts, money down. Another big stop for the Rough Riders to keep this momentum. I would fully expect the defensive line to again be pinning their ears back and really trying to force the issue.
Crummy, 4 receivers now to the right. They try to run that same screen pass and they're able to run it very well. Compton tried to jump that again, unable to get in there. They just ran that same jailbreak screen pass to Cowan. Cowan gets up limping again, but that is a conversion on 3rd and 20 for this Van Wert offense.
Yeah, you see Taylor Compton, he'd attempted the back door, and a lot of times, he makes that play. This time the offensive line was able to just get enough of a piece of him that he wasn't able to track him down. Fortunately for the Rough Riders, that jailbreak screen kind of has been the kryptonite of, as we've seen in this second half and the last couple drives. So
a little disappointing from your defensive line, too. It's 3rd and 20. That's one of the plays that you're probably looking for. Nonetheless, Crummy takes the ball on 1st down, looking for the end zone, finds his receiver, but that's out of bounds. I don't think he held on to the ball anyway.
Nope, it's over there rolling next to the fence. It was a good ball by Crummy. He sees it kind of off-platform throw, drops it right there in the face of pressure, hits his receiver in the hands. So Rough Riders are fortunate there, but those are breaks that you'll take.
Really great throw from Crummy.
Absolutely.
Just dropping it into the bucket. Cowan over the shoulder. Unfortunately, Crummy is a sophomore. So we've got 2 more years of him, and he's looking very good as a sophomore.
Correct.
If he can make passes like that and correct his mistakes, he's going to be a weapon for Van Wert for a couple more years. Crummy throws a quick screen pass out there, tried to do a little quick wide receiver screen to Cowan, and a lot of Rough Riders around that. Ball was dropped anyway, but I think he may have gotten smashed as soon as he caught that.
Brings us to an Ace Cuts money down here. Something to note here that's kind of got the best of the Rough Riders. Last couple of them, Cowan did just limp off the field. It looks like that ankle, lower leg still kind of bothering him. So you'd fully expect this ball to be heading towards Xavier Kelly. You see him out there in the close slot.
And Crummy's looking for him. There's a holding again, but there's a sack again for the Rough Riders, a Spring Street storage sack. Crummy was definitely looking for Xavier Kelly in that corner, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think right off the rip he had fell down on the turf, so he had to kind of break his route off.
Deep, number 16, or penalties decline.
A little bit of mic problems from the umpire tonight, but that's okay. Penalty was declined. Obviously, you're not going to give them another 3rd down and long. So this brings up 4th down and 22. So I do not see Cowan back into the game. Do you?
I don't either. You anticipate something up the seam that just kind of make a jump ball, let one of your players go make a play.
Crummy really nowhere to go with the ball. Does throw it up for jumps, and he caught it. Unbelievable. Number 1, Keaton Welch, comes down with another touchdown.
That would be Keaton Welch's 3rd touchdown of the night. Kind of just a prayer ball thrown up there by Zach Crummy. Not a lot that you'd like to see there from the Rough Riders. You had some pressure that was there. You'd like to have them on the ground that wasn't capitalized on. You had a receiver that was coming back from being taken to the sideline, able to make a play on the ball.
A lot of opportunities there for the Rough Rider defense. And Griff McCracken's extra point is good. Thought I saw some officials running in like there might be a penalty. There wasn't. So on the Sean Burnett Electrical scoreboard, the St. Mary's Rough Riders 42, the Van Wert Cougars 35. Van Wert comes back there again, and they're probably going to have an onside kick here for the Varsity Lanes kickoff. We'll be back with that right after this.
TSC has streaming television services available in the Gigahood, delivered over our blazing fast fiber internet. Choose TV to fit your family's needs. Enjoy our basic package with all the local channels, or try the extended basic package with sports, news, music, and family entertainment. Download the Your TV Green app and use your Amazon Fire Stick to start watching today. Still need internet? Go to www.telcirco.com and choose the Connect Me button to complete the fiber connection form, and we'll take care of the rest.
The St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation is proud to support St. Mary's athletics. We invite you to become a member of the Alumni Foundation by checking out our website at www.mhsaf.com or checking us out on Facebook. Good luck, Riders.
Welcome back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field, St. Mary's, Ohio. Zach Farrell, Drew Jacobs on Ryder Nation Station, where we are seeing a shootout, Drew.
You are correct about that, Zach. I think we can fully anticipate an onside kick here. I think Van Wert's probably lost faith in being able to stop Caleb Schmidt and the Rough Rider offense. So I think you see the Rough Riders hands team out there. You have one deep returner just in case they decide to try to get cute and pooch something and run it down. But, the Rough Riders hands team has come up and made a play earlier. The hope is that they continue to do that. This is something that's practiced quite frequently.
Griff McCracken, anticipated onside kick, tries for that deep pooch kick. Trey Moore needs to grab it. He does. Trey Moore tries to bring it all the way across field. There's a penalty flag down. Probably going to be blocking the back on St. Mary's. And that's going to put the Riders all the way back upon their goal line. 10 minutes and 47 seconds left. You'd love to see them be able to use up this whole clock.
It'd be ideal. Back to the basics of 3 yards in a cloud of dust and just drag this thing all the way out and not give Van Wert another shot at it.
So that Roots Pub penalty is going to march back the Rough Riders probably half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, this is by
During
far
the return, illegal block in the back, number 12. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
This is by far the Rough Riders' worst starting field position of the night, starting inside their own 5. Really crucial here that these first couple plays you get a first down and at least kind of get out of your end zone. But again, I would anticipate just continuing a steady dose. And
yeah, this is the worst time of the night to have this kind of position, right? Full house backfield again, though. Schmidt up the middle. The good news is you have this offensive line and Caleb Schmidt that just have been able to get 5 or 6 yards on all of these fullback dives right up the middle.
Correct.
Great job from Xander Post there at center. He is just it looks like a wedge tonight. It's just wide open 5 yards down the field.
It's like just like that, the Rough Riders are at 332 yards. That exact same dive. The wedge that Zach spoke about, 47 carries. It's at will essentially at this point.
Minor Ding under center again. Caleb Schmidt again off tackle this time. A lot of space out there. Continues to take it downhill. Gets 5 yards past the first down marker. Riders are going to have a Fowler's TV first down on the, call it 17-yard line.
Yeah, big first down there. Get out of your own end zone. Get some momentum. You see Aiden Meyerding's over on the sidelines still. They're really wanting to drain this thing like we had talked about. The less time you can give back when the Cougars get the ball back, the better. So,
play clock all the way down to 20 now for the Rough Riders. Full house backfield. Meyerding under center. Snap from post. Hands it off to Luke Rammel. Takes that, goes outside with the sweep. Gets a few yards.
Yeah, that's Rammel's 5th carry on the night. He's at 20 yards on the night. You haven't seen the Rough Riders utilize a whole lot of the tailbacks. It's been fullback the whole night with Caleb Schmidt, Dylan Fink, and Luke have a combined 14 other carries. So.
No, but they've done a good job, I think, of mixing it up to keep him honest at least.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you see him start to really commit to, the dives coming right at him, that little shake that you have to respect when those guys could break loose on the edge.
Full house again. Schmidt again. And even though he was hit around the line of scrimmage, carries his defender 4 yards all the way to the 25-yard line. Brings up a very manageable 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it's tough for the Van Wert defense. You just don't see them. They're not really delivering the shots that. It's all Caleb Schmidt kind of delivering the first blow. You never want to be catching running backs that are coming downhill, and especially guys like Caleb Schmidt who are having the night that he's having. You're never really going to get him held up for right where you meet him if you don't.
Yeah, you use the terminology I was thinking was they're catching him.
Yeah, correct.
They're anticipating him hitting them, and they're kind of letting it kind of fall into him. Caleb Schmidt goes right up the middle. He should have enough for a Fowler's TV first down. He does. Clock will stop as the chains move. Ryder's going to use up every bit of that 40-second play clock, though.
Yep, I anticipate this game, the shootout that we've seen is going to really start to slow down this last 8 minutes of this quarter.
Riders have already taken 2.5 minutes off of the clock, I believe. Actually, a little bit more than that, 3 minutes. First and 10 for the Riders. Monitoring under center. Try the sweep again, this time Fink. And he stays in bounds smartly, cuts back and gets a few more yards. Heads up move there from Dylan Fink. Great job blocking downfield. Love to see it from all of your running backs right now.
Yeah, you see, Luke Ramble, a fellow running back, Fink, just taking that defensive end right out of the play and shoving him, out of arm's reach, and then 2 guards pulling up and in, and then Fink being heady enough to keep it in bounds, allow that clock to keep turning, and here the Rough Riders are. We've seen another minute tick off since we've talked about it. So
unbelievable. 2nd and 2 for the Riders here. Looking for a Fowler TV first down. Monitoring to Schmidt right up the middle. That wedge fullback dive again. I call it a wedge because we ran it exactly like a QB sneak.
Right.
From an offensive line, it was no different than a QB sneak when we ran that fullback dive. It does look like a Van Wert defender is on the ground, number 67, so it's going to be an official timeout on the field. We're going to take a timeout here. When we come back, we're going to see if the Riders can run off the last 6 minutes and 39 seconds of this game. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to Ace Cuts Barbershop, a locally owned and family-oriented shop. Our professional team consists of Chase, Scotty, and Jake, and we strive for perfection in every haircut. It's also more than just cutting hair for us. We build great relationships and friendships with everyone that walks through our doors. So come in and see Chase and the crew at 1649 Celina Road, St. Mary's. Let's go Riders!
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Celina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
We're back to action here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Van Wert's defender was able to get off the field on his own, and the play clock and the time clock have started. First and 10 for the Rough Riders. Meinerding hands the ball off to Caleb Schmidt to the outside. Caleb Schmidt tripped up a little bit at the line, but does a nice job of rolling himself forward. Don't love that ball spot, though.
Said it numerous times.
We'll have to see this one again if we can.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning, Zach. The purpose of the wing tee just wears and tears, and we had kind of touched on it. But Van Wert does have a couple interior guys that do go both ways for them. You get to this point in the game.
Yeah, see, his elbow doesn't go down until 1, 2, 3. That's at least 1.5 yards from where I think his elbow really went down. Nonetheless, Riders 2nd and 7 here. Hand the ball off to Caleb Schmidt. Goes along the left side. That brings up a big 3rd and 4 here for the Rough Rider offense. That little injury timeout has given the Van Wert Cougars a little bit of energy here. Clock continues to tick down, under 5 minutes now. That'll be very frustrating for Zach Crummy and the Van Wert offense just standing on the sidelines watching their opportunity to tick away here.
Yeah, don't really have a whole lot of solutions for them. They're hoping that their defense will get a stop here, but
Meinerding has a big 3rd down here. Hands off to Caleb Schmidt right up the middle. He runs through a tackle. He's continuing to run down the field. Caleb Schmidt is a man on fire tonight.
I'm not really sure how that defender kept him from running right by him. I believe he grabbed him by the shoulder pad and just held him up enough to wow. I'm not confident that number 1 there for Van Wert was going to be making that tackle.
That's a huge Fowler TV first down for the St. Mary's Rough Riders. That ball is taken all the way down to the 32-yard line. If I'm Coach Bo Fry, I'm okay running all of this clock off as much as I can.
Yeah, you'd love for Caleb Schmidt to have gotten his 7th touchdown, re-break his own record. But again, that's another minute that just churns off that clock. The Van Wert offense is not able to get back out there.
And yes, you go up by 2 scores, but you don't want them to be able to try to kick an onside kick.
Correct.
Anything can happen there. They give it to Schmidt again, but Van Wert does able to stop him to just 1 yard. That's the best stop that we've seen in a long time.
Might be his shortest run of the night.
Yeah.
That dropped his average under 8 yards a pop.
Wow.
He's only averaging 7.9 at this point. He is up over 300 yards, though. He does have 39 carries, 307 yards.
The record yards for a game is 366.
I believe so, yes.
From DJ Manning.
Set by DJ Manning against Celina.
Not quite enough yards on the field for him to be able to get to that right on this drive, but historic night nonetheless. Caleb Schmidt again up the middle for a few more yards. That brings up another really big 3rd and 5.
Yeah, the Van Wert defense here is tightened up just a little bit. But again, the clock's now ticked under 3 minutes, and the Roughriders are inside the 30-yard line. You can almost you're getting awfully close to that point where do you just want to put them away? Do you risk sending your field goal unit out there? You know, you have a ton of confidence in Brady Triplett, but if you're going for 4 yards, 5 yards every time handing it off, you just try to put it away.
Absolutely. Monitoring under center, quick handoff to Caleb Schmidt up the middle. He's still running there. He's going to be very close to another first down. They're going to say 4th down. They're going to say just short. I think from this distance you go for it. Drew, what do you think?
Yeah, I would have to side with you there. Again, you don't want to knock Brady Triplett, but we have had a couple mishandled snaps tonight that Luke's had to put back on the tee. We've had a missed extra point. I just don't think it's worth the risk. I think you just go and try to end this game right here.
Well, Van Wert wants to think about it, want to talk to their team. This is a huge 4th and 1 coming up for the Riders and Van Wert. We're going to take a quick break. This is a Miller Funeral Home timeout, and we'll be back right after this.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spece. Welcome to Spece Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spece Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spece and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spece Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spece Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
Well, this is it, guys. 4th and 1. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. The Riders get a first down here, and they can pretty much run the clock out, I think, with the way that they've been running with Caleb Schmidt. Van Wert does have 2 timeouts left, so, they can make it close. But this is huge right here, and the Riders are going to go for it.
It'd be interesting if they go to the hard call,
They don't. Schmidt, though, takes the ball. He's very close to that line of scrimmage.
It looks like that. We'll see here. This ref on the St. Mary's sideline.
It's going to depend all where they place this ball. Both teams pointing their respective ways. They're going to call a timeout and have the chains come across the field. We're going to stay right here and watch this. So this is it. This is huge right here. 1 minute and 59 seconds left. Credit to the Cougars. They were able to get men in there. Really the first stop that they've had.
Yep.
And this is it. We'll see what the chains say right here. I think it's going to be just short. That is a huge turnover on downs for the Van Wert defense. And that is 1 minute 59 and 2 timeouts left for Van Wert to try to tie this up. Roughrider defense comes out on the field, and they're fired up as well.
Have to make it happen here, Zach. Anything tackled in bounds, completed passes, you just have to find ways to keep that clock moving and keep them in front of you. Van Wert's continuously, when Crummy's in trouble. He's just thrown the lob ball, the prayer ball down the field, and hope for one of his guys to make a play. You just have to make the play for the Rough Riders right now. That's what it boils down to.
Crummy, quick pass out to the side.
Get him in bounds.
Trying to keep him in bounds, and they're not able to. That is number 10, Cowan, his favorite target. Does only get 8 yards on that, but doesn't take too much time off the clock. Minute 51 left.
How about Xavier Kelly and Cowan, bottom of the screen here? So I'm going to go right back to him again.
Cowan again.
That is a huge tackle there by the Rough Riders. Prevented the first down. Actually lost the yard inbounds. Cougars have a decision to make. Do they want to burn a timeout, or do they want to? Looks like they're just going to stay at the line of scrimmage. They're going to secure that timeout. So
Logan Childs with a great tackle there. Crummy looking right. Quick pass. Throws it to Cowan again. Clock is going to stop shortly for the chains to move.
Yep. You see him, he picks up 5 yards there again. That's the crucial. You're almost okay giving that up. You'd love to get off the field, but keep him in bounds, keep the clock moving.
Time is ticking down. Crummy throws it quickly again to Cowan, and he's trapped there. That ball almost looked like it fell a little bit as he tried to stretch it out, and Van Wert's going to use one of those timeouts. That's big here for the Riders. So with that timeout, we're going to take a timeout. It's a Miller Funeral Home timeout for us. We'll be back with the final minute 7 of this game right after this.
The importance of quality driver's education for our teens is essential. Capabilities has provided classroom and in-car driving instruction for St. Mary's and surrounding communities for over 20 years. Live classroom and online options are available for our students. Capabilities also administers the Ohio BMV driver's exam for our students and the general public. Contact Capabilities today to learn more about our driver's education services.
Go see Eagle Loan Company in Celina when you need a little extra. Loans made easy, payments made affordable, loans subject to credit approval. Conditions apply.
We're back here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Riders 42, Cougars 35. Cougars are marching down the field trying to put one in here with 1 minute and 7 seconds left. Riders are trying to get a huge stop here. Cougars just used one timeout. They've got one remaining. Crummy looking down the field. He's got a lot of time. Throws it right into the middle. And fortunately for the Riders, that receiver awkwardly extends out. And I think hyperextended his leg maybe. And there's going to be a call. That's going to be a timeout on the field. Injury timeout. We're going to take another timeout here. It looks like maybe hamstring or something there. So with that, that's a huge catch for the Cougars. They put it down inside the 40-yard line on the 30-yard line. We'll take a quick break and have this minute remaining after this.
Calling all riders. Celina Cycle Center has all of your motorcycle, dirt bike, ATV, and e-bike needs. Need tires, parts, cleaning supplies, and riding apparel? Celina Cycle Center has you covered. If your bike needs tuned up or accessorized, mechanic and owner Aaron Schmidt will have you back on the road or trails. Stop in and see us at 6869 US Route 33 or check out our Facebook page at Celina Cycle Center. Let's ride!
We're back here. Cougars are on the ball already. The clock's going to resume at the referee's whistle.
Crummy looking deep for his man. He made the catch, but he is out of bounds, fortunately.
He ended up dropping that ball. So I'm not really sure how, but again, Crummy puts it right on him. He has a massive arm back there to.
Wow. Xavier Kelly with a nice route and an even better pass from Zach Crummy, and unable to come down with that catch. Fortunately for the Rough Riders, 48 seconds left here, 2nd and 10.
See the jail.
And that screen again to Cowan, and that was wide open again.
Yep. That's just part of the issue of, you continually bring the blitz and you like to have the pressure. They can just continually catch you in that, unfortunately. So you see the Cougars back on the ball here quick, not using the timeout. Looks like the Rough Riders are going to use one here.
Riders want to get some bigger men in there probably for inside the 5-yard line, and see this little jailbreak screen again. Rough Rider defense has been caught by it 3 times tonight already, I think.
Yeah, they have used it, and they've, formation the Rough Riders into it a couple times with that. Callan runs it down the field a little bit further before he breaks it back behind the line of scrimmage, just allowing those offensive line to get out in front. A couple of the previous times you see him, it's essentially he's coming from the out wide, he's right down the line of scrimmage. So, again, it's one of those things that as you continue to bring pressure, they just continue to go back to it. That does put Callan at 330 yards receiving on the night.
So here we have it, 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Again, Riders are up by 7 points. If Van Wert's able to get it in the end zone here, it'll be interesting to see if they go for 1 or 2. Sometimes on the road you tell your team you're going to go for it, but I think usually the Van Wert Cougars are a little bit more conservative and will go for it and will play extra ball here. But first, Riders can get a stop or a turnover and shut this up right now.
Yep, that would be ideal for the Rough Riders. You kind of go to the sidelines, get your breath. Not a lot of the ground that you have to cover as much in the open field, so you can really kind of come downhill and hopefully keep guys out of the end zone.
Kelly in motion. Crum tries to do a little option, throws it out to Kelly nicely, but the Riders are there.
Big play by John Youngs there. It was all over. He was going to make the play on Crummy and was able to kind of continue to stretch it out, and then, again, makes a nice tackle, getting him on the ground, inbounds, forces them to use that last time out.
Huge. That'll bring up 2nd and goal here there from about the 7-yard line. Cougars take a timeout. We're going to take a Miller Funeral Home timeout. When we come back, the last 24 seconds of this 4th quarter, see if the Riders can get a stop here in the red zone.
Dr. Compton has been delivering quality chiropractic care for nearly 20 years. He's committed to helping you find relief as quick as possible so there's no lengthy care plans. At Neck and Back Pain Relief Center, most insurances are accepted and walk-ins are always welcome. Conveniently located in downtown St. Mary's. To learn more, visit us online at smpainrelief.com and follow us on social media.
It's the name that you want to remember. Neck and Back Pain Relief Center.
Back here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, 24 seconds left. Cougars down by 7. Riders trying to get a big stop here. 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Crummy running back in the backfield. It has a man in his face, throws it in the end zone, and they're going to call pass interference on Childs. It's going to put him on the 1-yard line with a first down, I believe.
It's kind of a tough call there for the Rough Riders. Bang play at the goal line. There's always going to be more contact. You can kind of see that arm kind of come over the top of.
Pass interference. Defense, number 11. Down.
Kind of see the arm start to come over that shoulder pad, but again, you just hate to see it down there on the goal line.
And that's not an automatic first down, I apologize, but that is. They do get to redo the down, so that's 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line now. So,
ball has to be into the end zone.
Oh, man! Taylor Compton looking for his 2nd interception of the night and nearly had it. That would have been huge.
Rough Riders might have got away with one there on the little hold there. But again, you get one called for you. The Rough Riders might have been owed one there. Things kind of balance out in that factor. The ball has to be in the end zone. There's no way at this point that they cannot, because if they get tackled in bounds, the clock will run out. So you can expect something to go towards the end zone these last 2 shots.
No timeouts left for Van Wert. 14 seconds left. Kelly in motion again. Crummy's got pressure on him, throws it in the middle. That ball is underthrown, and that's going to bring up a huge 4th down here. 9 seconds left. It all comes down to this.
Yep, see the pressure again. They were rolling away from it. He was able to get there and kind of disrupt that flow. Looked like he even kind of got a piece of the ball to get that thing into the ground.
Really seems like Van Wert's been able to roll away from the pressure every time tonight, every opportunity.
Yeah, I think part of that is, when they are rolling out, we have brought blitzes from both sides, so it looks like they're rolling away from it. I think they're just rolling that wing back towards them. So,
well, the stands are shaking over here on our side. Crummy takes the ball back, looking at the end zone. He's got 11 wide open.
Oh, he knocks it down.
I believe it gets picked off.
No, Dylan Fink knocks it down.
Dylan Fink knocks it down. There's no time left on the clock.
Rough Riders live on. What a win by the Rough Riders.
What a play by Dylan Fink. Great pressure from the defense, and the Riders win on homecoming night.
My goodness, that's a heck of a play by Fink. That guy was running. Number one was open. He had slipped one of the defenders. He had found a hole to sit down into, and Dylan Fink from the backside abandons his man and goes to make the play. That's the kind of play we were talking about, Zach. Something you just have to make the play. It was going to present itself. Fink did it. Preserved the Rough Riders win.
It's all about the certain players making the plays in the situation,
Yep.
right? Look at
Right
that.
there.
Look at that camera angle. Unbelievable. Dylan Fink, Supermaning out of nowhere. 11, watch 11 over there. Xavier Kelly wide open on the right side. But number one, Keaton Welch was open right there in the middle of the field.
Yep.
Dylan Fink just makes a better play on that. Unbelievable. Dylan Fink, congratulations, young man. What a night for several Rough Riders around here. Unbelievable. That'll do it for tonight. We're going to come back with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes post-game show here in a second. But, man, 42-35 on the last play. Coach Fry's loving it. He's pounding the windows next to us. We're going to be back with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes post-game show right after this.
St. Mary's Eagles 767 is dedicated to promoting the general welfare of the citizens of St. Mary's by giving special attention to public improvements. They are also committed to helping meet the public needs and all that relates to the betterment, convenience, and comforts of the citizens of St. Mary's. For more information on how you can become a member, call 419-394-3257 or stop in during business hours at 404 East Spring Street in St. Mary's. St. Mary's Eagles, 767. People helping people.
St. Mary's traditions include football, SMAB, and Fowler's TV. Founded in 1957 by Richard and Peggy, Fowler's TV is celebrated, like a Rough Rider first down, for its dedication to high-quality electronics, custom installations of indoor and outdoor TVs, Sonos sound systems, surveillance systems, and so much more. With 12 months of special financing available on approved credit, shopping local has never been better. Fowler's knowledgeable and friendly staff uphold the tradition of exceptional customer care, servicing only what they sell with the same or next day service.
In need of a marketing idea for your business or organization? From concept to execution, we are your go-to for promotional products, signage, apparel, print materials, graphic design, and fundraising. Freedom Marketing Strategies is a Rough Rider-owned business with over 50 years of marketing, graphic design, and fundraising support. Call Sissy or Gail today to get started.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
Well, welcome back to Grand Lake Health System Field to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes post-game show. You can see both of the teams breaking apart from their joined together in a prayer at the end of the game. I am still a little shaken over here, Drew, from that last play. Just a wave of emotions there on the last 5 minutes for the Rough Riders. We see them marching down the field. We think that they're going to put it in because Van Wert hasn't been able to stop them all night. Van Wert does a great job of stopping them around the 20-yard line. And then, unfortunately, we saw what happened a lot of the night, which is that Van Wert able to march down the field with some big passing plays, just 2 minutes left, and able to get it all the way down to the 3-yard line where Dylan Fink makes an incredible play, breaking up the ball from Zach Crummy. Just unbelievable. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, what a jump start to the homecoming weekend. You can't ask for much better for these the kids, just getting a big win on a close game. These are the kind of wins that you make plays, and they really just kind of propel you through the rest of the season. The Rough Rider offense was obviously firing on all cylinders there till that last drive. We didn't really think that they were ever going to be stopped, and Van Wert didn't muster it up and get it done. But again, we had the same concerns as you had spoke to, where the St. Mary's defense be able to do it. And, they forced 2 turnovers a night. They made a stop there in the end zone at the end of the game. Just making plays as they needed to. You look at kind of how the statistics roll out. They're evenly matched in first downs, both at 22 apiece.
Wow.
Total yards, St. Mary's had 410. Van Wert actually had 450. Zach Crummy was 27 for 40. 4 touchdowns and 1 interception, and 461 total yards, with 330 of those and 17 catches going to Micah Cohen. I would reckon that's got to be awfully close to a record for Van Wert.
Absolutely.
He had the ball thrown his way 21 times. The Roughriders, we touched on it. They had to make Van Wert one-dimensional. That was going to set them up for success. And you look at it on the night, including the sacks, they had 20 carries and negative 11 rushing yards. Xavier Kelly had 11 rushes for 18 yards. Zach Crummy had negative 32 rushing yards because of all the sacks. It's exactly what you were trying to do on that side of the ball. Now, 460 passing yards is never something that you're trying to hang your hat on. But again, when you come out with a W, it's a little easier to swallow. From the Roughrider side, we just spoke about it all night. I think we'll revisit it this once more. But 42 total rushes for Caleb Schmidt. The all-time record is 44 in a game. 315 total yards. He did fall short from breaking that record, but I think he was 3rd overall for rushing yards in a game in Roughrider history.
Yeah, I got the exact stats from Andy Ramel. DJ Manning, number 1, 366 yards against Sydney in 2001. And then DJ Manning, 334 yards against Celina in 2011. Tonight, Caleb Schmidt, 315 yards. And then he pushes Scott Schlosser down 314 yards against Celina in 1988.
Man, that was a long time ago.
I was 1 year old. And then DJ Manning had the carries against Elida, 44 for the record. And Caleb Schmidt tonight, 42 carries.
My goodness, he's going to have to find himself a couple ice tubs tomorrow and Sunday.
They get that first down there, and he's able to put it in the end zone. He also breaks his touchdown record.
Right, yeah.
7.
Yeah, you hate to complain because he'd already said it once, and he's tied his own record at 6 touchdowns. He did break the total scoring. I think it would be 38 total points if we do the math. It was 6 touchdowns and then the 2-point conversion. So again, just an incredible night from Caleb Schmidt, and really just driving this offensive, being driven by this offensive line, and then just making the runs when he had to. Other than that, for the Roughriders, the time of possession was huge, 29 minutes and 10 seconds to 16 minutes and 50 seconds. They were 9 for 12 on 3rd down. That's incredible. 75%. You're staying on the field and not having to get to that 4th down. Penalty yards, the Roughriders were a little higher than the Cougars on that. They had 8 for 52. The Cougars only did just have the 1 face mask. But again, the defensive pressure kind of turned up. They had the 5 total sacks. They did have the interception and the fumble recovery. So some big turnovers, staying the positive there. And without those couple turnovers, that we had stressed so much, I don't believe this game is 42-35. So kudos to the Roughriders and the kids. Just that's a lot of ebbs and flows and changes in momentums, and you just kind of ride the wave of. Man, did we finally let this slip through our fingers, but no, they just kept responding, and they were able to get it done in a big league win, put them over 500, and continue to just drive on getting to the playoffs and being as strong as you possibly can when that time of year comes around.
Yeah, with the victory, the Riders are going to go to 4-3 overall, 4-2 in the WBL. Cougars are going to fall to 3-4 overall, 2-4 in the WBL. I can't say much more than what we've already said. I think this was a great game tonight. Riders will be back home here at Grand Lake Health System Field next week against the Shawnee Indians, which is going to be a huge game. I haven't seen an update on the Shawnee Wapak score.
The last I looked, I believe they were down multiple scores to Wapak.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that Shawnee got it done tonight, but it still nevertheless, that's a big win for the Roughriders to continue to.
Looks like they lost 42-14, interestingly. So still a huge game next week. Shawnee has been a very good team this year. We hope all the Ryder fans will be out. If you're not able to come out to the Grand Lake Health Systems Field, please tune in to Ryder Nation Station.
I think they'll get to listen to both of us again.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be Drew and I again. here next week, so if you hated us, I'm sorry. You have to get us again. But that's all right. Joe will be back in a couple weeks. So we really appreciate everybody. You know, today is Sean Spencer Day. So he is very near and dear to the hearts of a lot of the Ryder Nation station fans. He passed away a year ago, and today was his birthday. So Sean Spencer invites you to do something, do a random act of kindness for somebody out there. So for our entire crew, Doug Spencer, Rich Spencer, Mark Huber, Dave Walbacher, Ross Henshin, I'm Zach Farrell, Drew Jacobs is sitting next to me. The Riders win 42-35. We'll see everybody next week.
Big thanks to Auglaize Equipment Rental and Assistance National Bank for another show. Closing time for Realty, East Main Body Shop, helping the rest of the
Thanks for watching another episode of Ryder Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.